So, good evening, good evening. Welcome back to another show. And I'm John. Tonight, I'm going to do the press conference reaction. So, if you like my video, just smash the likes up and also please subscribe if you are new. So, tonight, I'm going to bring as my regular, as always. She's only 16-year-old. She's lovely, she's talented. And here is Holly.
Hi.
How you doing? Yeah, Reese.
I'm good. Are you, John?
Hey, I'm champion of the badge. Just I mean, it's been a quiet day to day at work sort of thing, and I got to see me transport manager on Monday. Don't know what it's all about. I don't know, but see what happens on that one. So yeah, so it's got to be back work tomorrow. So yeah, so it's all been a good day, I suppose. So how's your day with you, Holly?
Yeah, it's been okay. Haven't really been up to that much today, but yeah, just quiet one really.
Champion stuff, right? So just like I said, did you please like and subscribe to my videos, and subscribe as well, and also follow Holly Blade 05. So yeah, so just talk about quickly about Alex Boost. He came on to talk sport a day and interviewed Jim White. And basically said what's happened to Steve Boost about the interview he's been getting on social media, and it was not very pleasant at all. Okay, we all want Steve Boost out of the club. Yes, we do. But at the end of the day, no one, and that includes Boost, don't deserve to be abused like that, or anyone for that matter, sort of thing. So, Holly, do you think Alex Boost is right to come out and speak out, or do you think he should have kept it quiet?
I think he was right to speak up about it because it's not acceptable. And obviously, with it being his dad, it's really hard for him to hear, and it'll be having a massive impact on him and his family as well as Bruce. Because if it was your dad or your family member, you wouldn't like to hear things like that being said. It's just not acceptable whatsoever, and it needs to be addressed.
Well said. And next to it's got to happen as well. The fans on Monarch, the fans going to go to Stevie's wife and his family as well. And if that happens, then he needs to walk away. He needs to walk away from the club because this is just getting way too much this moment in time. And the bottom line is, it's just ain't acceptable at all. And something needs to be stopped. The authorities need to get involved. Also, as well, the police need to get involved as well. Check their accounts and just take it down.
Yeah, that's why I agree that you should have to prove who you are to make an account. You shouldn't be able to have like a fake account under a fake name and a fake email because then it's hard to trace the people. But if the police knew who you were, people would be more reluctant to post that type of hate because they know that the police will end up coming to their door and they'll obviously get prosecuted for it, which they should do.
I totally agree. I think they should also as well, given their accounts so like passports or driver's license as the proof of identity, and just get one shot. If they get it wrong, then you are finished at Twitter and social media sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? So it is for what it is, and let's hope they get sorted out soon. I've got David on here. What time does Tournament Friday night stream starts tonight? I don't know. I mean, I think I looked at the day he's not going to do it for the Italians, so you're going to need to check on his Twitter account, David. So check him out. Thomas, love the intro. Thanks so much indeed, my guy. Eric, even John, hope you're well, mate. Fan as always, Eric, and so it's all good. Holly, can you hear us okay? Am I okay? Are you end?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Champion stuff. I just thought my volume might be a bit too high as well, sort of thing. Just give us 2 seconds there, young'un. Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Fantastic. It's a bit too loud, wasn't it, sort of thing. So yeah, so like I said, just hope Steve Bruce is going to be okay and hope he doesn't get any more abuse. I know what I'm out of the club, and yeah, it's not good, isn't it? And so just going to go on to the press conversation, what Steve has been speaking about yesterday. I didn't know he did it yesterday, you know. I thought he should have been on Friday and he didn't. So
yeah, well, until I did these shows, I never really watched Bruce's like press conferences and stuff because like I just think he's so boring and he makes the same points every week. So until I was on here, I never bothered listening, to be honest.
I know, but I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I don't listen to it, but I just get it on Twitter, sort of thing, like FC Twitter handler, sort of thing, which I think is great. So I can pick up on that and what he's been seeing. I mean, I wouldn't sit on there watching TV, watching him all the time. There's absolutely no way, because you're right, because he does bore us, and I haven't got time for that guy to whatsoever. It's over and over and over again. Do you know what I mean? And none of them ain't hitting with the hard questions as well, which is so frustrating, because I want to see journalists asking different questions, hitting the hard questions. If he lose, hit him hard. Do you know what I mean?
Well, like I said last time, I think it's because the journalists are scared of stepping over the mark, because if they do, like Bruce has previously, banned the local media, so they won't want that to happen again. So I feel like they're treading carefully with what they can and can't say.
You see, that's ridiculous, because at the end of the day, I mean, some of them are just being restricted to what they say, or whatever sort of thing, which is so frustrating. And I just don't get it. I mean, you got to hit them hard. And like you said, they get banned. They got to get banned. They just got to not going to see them, sort of thing, you know. And it's a shame, man. It's just a mad world at the minute. So it's a mad, mad world. So, yeah.
Certainly is.
So there you go. I'm just gonna go for the first one, Holly. Yeah, I mean, Steve Bruce has asked about Chelsea Newcastle game, and he's talked about injuries, right? And he's basically said that Fabian Schär has had operation on his knee ligaments, so it's 8 weeks out for him. Thiago Mercurial did his ankle ligaments, so he could be at similar time, 8 weeks again. But Callum Wilson's a huge one. He's got a tear to his hamstring, so he could be out for 6 to 8 weeks. Holly, it is absolutely sad to see that happening, man. Huge miss.
I know, and like 8 weeks' time, that's a long time. We'll be coming towards the end of the season after 8 weeks, so it's massive for us. And obviously, we had the problems with defence, so that doesn't help at all with Manquillo and Shaw being out. But Wilson's the main worry, obviously, because now it's going to be so hard for us to get goals, and we're just hoping and praying that Gale can step up. But whether he can or not, we don't know.
You're absolutely right, because we need, if you're going to play 4-3-3, then they'll have to be the head of the attack, because he's got pace up front, and we need pace up front, because I don't think the Chelsea defence really has got the pace at all whatsoever. We've got Thiago Silva at the back, who is a fantastic player on this time with Milan and PSG. And unfortunately, got Kurt Zuma as well. He's a decent lad, but again, he's not that quick. Strong in the air and quick at the seats, but he's not that quick. But go back to Callum Wilson, he's going to be a huge miss, because without his scores, we are going to struggle, unfortunately. And Joe Linton ain't going to be the answer. We know that, right?
Yeah. I think that Bruce will unfortunately start Joe Linton over Gale, though, which I hope doesn't happen, because I'd much rather have Gale there. But I said on another show that I did last night, I said that I'd rather play St. Maximin up top with Gale, because I really think St. Maximin could do well, like kind of as a more attack, like, you know, more central. That's quite controversial, because some people disagree, but I think that he could do a good job.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't play him at all. Not my team. I wouldn't play Joe Linton at all, whatsoever, because he's a waste of time and space. If I'm honest with you, do you know what I mean? I mean, 3 goals in 58 games. It just tells its own story.
Yeah, he's certainly not a striker, and even when we're seeing him more on the left-hand side, he wasn't good there either, so I really don't know what his best position is. And I jokingly said that he might be good as a centre-back, but to be fair, why not? Like, to be fair, with the problems we've got at the minute, why not even give it a go? Because that's the most good thing that he does, is he clears the ball well if he needs to. So you never know, he could be a world-class centre-back. He's just never had a go.
Yeah. Well, it's big enough lad, those sort of thing. You know what I mean? It might be good. It could be good in the air, but I mean, he's got a touch like an elephant as well. That's the worry. And make sure he doesn't does his skills along the box where he gets easily possessed. He's done that twice on Saturday, and he could have scored one of the goals, unfortunately. But I wouldn't have him even near the team. And Paul backs up on that one as well, nowhere near. So Steve Busson, Callum Wilson. He said, aftermath of Saturday's game, losing 3 players, including your centre forward, for weeks, a bit of pill to swallow. We hope it was a grade 1, but unfortunately, it's a lot worse than that. We don't think it needs surgery or operation, but it will take time.
It's a positive that he doesn't need any surgery or anything, but like I say, it is a long time and he's going to be a massive miss. But hopefully, when he does come back, he's fully fit and he gets back into great form.
Let's hope so, because if we can get him back sort of even a month's time, that'd be an absolute bonus. But we need him back when he is ready to go and not playing when he's injured. You know what I mean? Because Steve has got a habit of letting players play with an injury or borderline, like Jamal Lewis last week. He had a hamstring injury, a little bit of a problem there, but he still played on, and I'm thinking it'll probably go in about 15, 20 minutes. But thank God he came through unscathed after 90 minutes. So yeah, so it's all good on him. Thomas, go back to you. What do you think of the Boost saga? It's a joke. Well, I don't agree with him getting abused, online abuse on this. But at the end of the day, we all want him out of the club. But at this moment in time, no one do not deserve online abuse, and he does not deserve that at all whatsoever. So I'm going to come on and show the picture later on. And Andrew, Ian, John, Holly.
Evening.
And I hope you find Andrew, mate, and getting ready for the weekend, etc., etc. So Steve was on about talking defensive options, and he was asked about defensive options. Sorry, and he said Kieran Clark will be available. Fingers crossed with Jamal and Federico. They've both got a chance. Holly, you said before the show that Federico could be ready to play on Monday, and Jamal says has got a bit of a chance.
I hope so. It would be great to see. Fernandez will be a massive plus for us because he's an excellent defender for us and he's really solid. So it'd be great to have him back. And then obviously it would be nice to have Lascelles back as well when being our captain.
Yeah, I think Jamal needs to step up for me this season because he hasn't been that good this season, to be quite honest with you. In my opinion, I don't think this player that he was, but as a leader, as a captain, it does help. And if he gets a couple more games and gets that's how he was, he'd be a canny player, him, mind, you know. But will that be under Steve Bruce? I don't know. But at least we've got a player that can actually defend when he wants to defend. So it'd be good to see him back. On to the forward options. He was asked about the forwards. It's for anyone to step up. We all know what Dwight Gale is capable of, so we can hope he stays well. The same goes for Joe Linton and Andy Carroll. There are big boots to fill, but there's opportunity.
Yeah, it is an opportunity. I think that especially Carroll will be really wanting to take that chance because I think he'd love to stay here next season and get a new contract. I don't think he will obviously be able to step up to obviously anywhere near Wilson's level, what we need, but I don't think that I would choose him to start the games. He would be nice to bring off the bench for like a second half or even the last few minutes, but Gale would be the one that I put faith in, but even him, it's going to be really hard to obviously compete with that. But I can't see anybody being able to compete with Wilson because he's done an absolutely exceptional job getting like 10, 11 goals in this team because not many, even the top strikers would struggle to do that.
I totally agree there because we don't score a lot of goals. Pardon me, that's the problem. And if you look at it, Carroll only scored one goal this season. Joe Linton, I think he only scored once this season. Has he scored just once this season?
I think so, yeah.
And Dwight only scored, I think he only scored one as well, one or two this season. But they're just not scoring goals enough. And next summer, and I've always said this, we need two brand new strikers, to be honest. I think Dwight should be moved on. Andy Carroll, as much as I want to succeed, I think he needs to go as well. We need two backup strikers for Callum Wilson. Someone's going to bang the goals in. And Joe Linton, well, we know what he's going to be like, don't you? He's just not going to do it. He's not going to make it, I'm afraid. He needs a season-long loan out somewhere because if he's lucky to get a loan, I'd take a loan just to get his confidence back. Because at the minute, I just don't think he's doing it.
Honestly, I don't think anything would make a difference, like a loan or not a loan or anything. I don't think it would matter. I think we're just going to have to accept that we've wasted that money, cut our losses and let him go because I don't think he'll ever fit in here, which is a shame. But it's not right for him or us. And yeah, we definitely need another striker. Even one would do because once Wilson's gone, you literally panic. And like we are now because we don't know where the goals are going to come from. So it's a massive, massive worry, especially considering we're not that far off the relegation zone and we do still need to pick up points. So, yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, we still lost safe. I mean, I know he's 10 points away from relegation, and people say, oh, we're going to be safe this season and stuff like that. I think we might just do it because the three teams down the bottom, Fulham, West Brom, Sheffield United, I think they're going to go this season unless they start putting on a massive run of games, winning running games. Got Ethan here, Harry, John. I'm good. I hope you are, Ethan, mate. So you're right. I mean, we're going to need to get goals somewhere, not just that we need to create. And it's no good creating when you got no one in the box. And that's been the problem of the season. I mean, the crosses comes in, like the Leicester game, for example. I mean, Yedlin put two good crosses in. There's just no one at the end of the there's no end product. Well, end product's there. It's just no one in the box. And that's the worry.
Well, I wouldn't want to be a striker at Newcastle. I wouldn't envy anybody that is, because it's such a hard job at our club, because like we say, they don't get the service, they're very isolated, and it's hard for them to score goals. So you've got to have a really good initiative and go after the ball. You can't wait for it to come to you, which I feel like is what Carroll does a lot. Wilson is constantly looking out for the ball, which you've got to do in this team because you're not going to get the service.
Absolutely, and that's what we need. We need we could do like a decent like strikers coach here at the club. I don't know who the strikers coach is at the club at all whatsoever. Whoever they must need one and get them to score goals, drill them in, do it every day, not 3 days a week. It's got to be done every day. Only 2 sessions a day would do, but at times as well, I think some of the players are done look fit.
Well, that's a thing that Bruce has done all the time. He constantly plays players when he knows that they're not right, which he shouldn't do, because yes, it's sometimes we're desperate and we'll have no one else to fill in that position. So he feels like he's got to play them. But I would rather them obviously be out for that game and we'll maybe struggle, but then get the full fitness in a quicker amount of time rather than play them and get their injury to become worse and then they could be out for a long time.
That's the thing, and that needs to be dressed up very quickly. On the Rafa Benitez, we don't hardly get any injuries at all since he's left. Bruce come in, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. I just don't get it.
I know, and it comes down to what's happening in training as well, because we've had quite a lot of injuries in training, which I can't even remember one or very few under Rafa Benitez. So that needs to be looked into as well.
Definitely, because the coaches are not good enough at all, I'm afraid. You're right. I've got Ethan again. I'd like to see Joe Linton go on loan to maybe a championship or abroad to get up to speed with the Premier League. I feel sorry for Joe. He spent last season isolated by himself. Look at Wilson. He struggled. Holly?
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Like, it's hard for anybody to be a striker, no matter how good or how poor they are, because they just don't get the service in this team. And it's all well and good bringing in good strikers. Like, we do need some more options to have on the bench and stuff when Wilson's not able to play. But we also need to start making sure that the strikers aren't isolated and they're getting the assists, because how are they ever meant to score if they kind of get the ball?
It's down to tactics 5-4-1 as well. But that's what we don't want to see 5-4-1 ever again, because the midfield and attack's got to be closer. And that's not good enough. That's the horrible formation. I hate that formation. The one team can get away with that is Leicester City. They played a 5-4-1 against Man City early in the season at the Etihad, and Leicester just absolutely destroyed Man City playing that formation. How do you do it? I don't know.
Well, I think that's why it's so good that we brought Willock in, because he's someone that can get forward. Obviously, he can do his job in midfield, but he can also get forward if he needs to help put the ball into the box and even score like he did in his debut. So people like that is exactly what we need. And I know a lot of people were sceptical about him coming in, but I think someone like Willock is exactly what we need, especially right now.
Class that. I mean, I'm not going to. I think he had a great time. He had a good game on Saturday. I think he played really, really well. I mean, he was levels, from midfield at the moment in time. But I'm not going to get celebrated over one game. I need to see him play more games, about 5, 6, 7 games, before I can make a decision on the guy. But so far, so good. And I got Ethan there. Let's be honest, Joe Linton isn't a striker. He can play on the wing or up front with a partner that he needs to go out on loan to boost his confidence.
I don't even agree with that, because we did see him at one point like behind the striker, and then we're seeing him out on the left hand side. And even there, he looked very poor. He didn't look up to scratch at all. So I just don't think that the Premier League suits him. I think he's better off abroad, or if he wanted to stay in England, he'd have to drop a league or even a couple of leagues, because it's not good for him at all. It doesn't suit his style of play, and a loan, I don't think it would make any difference, because even if he did well on his loan, as soon as he came back here, he'd just struggle again.
Holly, you're absolutely right, absolutely spot on. And when you used to play for Hoffenheim, who was this manager when he used to play with Hoffenheim? Now manager Leipzig.
Yeah, like that's the big difference in manager, and obviously the league, the Bundesliga and the Premier League are completely different leagues, and unfortunately it just hasn't worked out from here. But even at Hoffenheim, I don't watch them or anything, but from the bits of clips that I did watch when he signed for us, he seemed like a decent player, but certainly not a world-class £40 million player.
Christ, you're right. I mean, that £40 million would have gone better elsewhere, like 2 decent midfielders, you know what I mean? But that's when he spent 40 million on this guy. I thought, oh my god, if he was that good, why wouldn't other clubs after him?
I know, and I don't know about you, because I know you watch a lot more international football, whereas I don't, but I hadn't heard of him before we signed him.
Never even heard of him in my life. I mean,
Yeah.
I know he played for Hoffenheim, but barely heard of him, but I never watched him play. But you're right. But I'm more Italian football. I watch the Premier, but I love Italian football. Do you know what I mean? And we asked if they play all my colleagues play for Sampdoria, because after him, and I can tell how good he is. He's a very good defender. He really is a great defender. Him, but I think he needs to move on from Sampdoria. But back to Joe Linton. For me, I thought even the Bundesliga couldn't believe it. They could not believe that we paid £40 million for him, because he was not worth that. I actually did not listen to them.
Well, I never expected us to sign anyone with a value close to 40 million. But when we did, I was expecting, obviously, if we signed a player for that amount of money, you would expect to be someone that everybody's heard of. And Joe Linton was just relatively unknown. I know most Newcastle fans hadn't really heard of him before, unless they obviously follow Bundesliga and German football. So it was just a bit strange, and it still is strange.
It is. I just don't get it at all, Holly. I really don't. And I thought to myself, when Steve Bruce came in and saw him, he said, we got him. He didn't buy him. Ashley did. And he is telling us that he's going to get FE fans off their seats. Well, I tell you what, Holly, I fell off my seat, let alone jump off it, you know?
Yeah, well, he'll certainly get people off their seats with frustration, shouting at him, but not because he's an exciting player. He's the opposite of an exciting player. He literally looks like a non-league player. He just hoofs the ball, keeps it up in the air. He's got no skill, in my opinion. I don't understand what's attractive about the guy whatsoever.
You're right. And I'll tell you what, though, I mean, he's just terrible, man. He really is. And then I'll get people on Twitter digging us out and say, or cussing that and say, well, I'm picking on him. I'm not giving him a chance. Give him a go, lay off him. Well, no, he ain't good enough, Holly. He ain't good enough. Simple as that. And I just ahead of the curve. And I go, look at come back to us when he proves himself. But 3 goals in 58 games or something like that. I'm sorry, not good enough. I've got David here. Julian in good enough in the Premier League. You're right. Cameron Motor Jones. Cam, I hope you're well, mate. Not to be sure. Julian's awful. What do you all feel about Joe Willox on loan? First, we just discussed it. I think first game I thought it was very impressive, but I need to see him more games. I can't judge after one game. I want to see him in more games, and then after 5, 6, 7, 8 game span, then I'll have a good idea what he's going to be like. And Joe Linton, compared to Thomas, Joe Linton is so bad. He isn't a footballer. He is a block of cheese. I'm not surprised. But
I know. And I know lots of people were saying to give him a chance and stuff.
Yeah.
In his first season, I agreed with that, because obviously you can't just say, oh, he's a horrendous player, he'll never make it after a handful of games. But now he's had more than enough chances, in my opinion, and he's never impressed, apart from the one game when we played Spurs away in August 2019, which was so long ago. And now we just need to accept that he isn't good enough, and we might be annoyed that we spent that much money on him and stuff like that, but you've just got to move on.
Totally agree. You've got to move on now and just see what happens in the summer. Do you know what I mean? But for me, I'll chuck him in the reserves and have done with him. Guys, could you please smash the likes up to my video and please subscribe if you already haven't, and please subscribe if you're new, and also please follow Holly Blades 05, and she is such a talent and she's going to make it very big in future years. And I've got David here. Willock need to come next season. Well, if he does well, who knows? And then you never know, we can buy him, sort of thing. You know, he's young, he's hungry, he's talented, you know, and he looks a good player and he's an athlete as well. I'm going to come to in the conference in a minute. Just want to read this out, Holly. I mean, excuse me. This should have got read on Saturday, not today. But it's also at the Southampton result. I just don't understand why this has been questioned. We should have got done on Saturday, but I read it anyway. He said we scored 3 goals, so we've got that balance right in the first half. Graham Jones, that is mind. We could have gone 4-1 up through Shelby, and then a minute later, it was 3-2, and we were doing the 10 men. I was delighted with the attitude, application, and their determination to hang on. I mean, Holly, what it is, right? I mean, our 4 second half, we just dug deep, we just held to a one, and we showed a bit of fight, which we haven't had all season. And yeah, and I just think it's great.
It was great. It was just the exact opposite of how it has been under Bruce. We actually showed passion and fight and determination, which we haven't done before. And I hope that's something that we'll keep up. I just hope that it doesn't dent their confidence that we have lost the likes of Wilson, because that'll be hard for everyone around him.
Totally agree. I mean, he's going to be a huge miss. And you know what? It's the more I think about it now, the more I think you've got to struggle in a couple of games. We've got some big games coming up. We've got to play Chelsea. We've got to play Claire's Man United. And as she is, good evening, both. Hope you're having a great day. Claire has been absolutely amazing today. It's been a good day. And there's another day, and I'm working tomorrow and the weekend off. So, yeah, it's been great. And hope things are okay with you. Hope your team wins tomorrow or somewhere it may be. And yeah, so I got another one as well. Talking off Jolovic, I'm going to read them as well. On Steve Bruce has been asking about him. He said, the one thing you want to do is play well on your debut, which he has done. It was a great piece of skill from Allen to pick him out, and it was a classic midfield player score. He's got ability to arrive in the box, and we've been lacking that for years. He's a terrific athlete.
Yeah, I agree. He's something that we'll have, like, not him specifically, but that type of player is something that I feel like we have needed for quite a long time and we haven't had. So it is refreshing to see someone like that in the squad. And if he does play like he did on his debut every game, then there'll be absolutely no complaints, and I'd love to see him stay.
Yeah, I do as well, because like I said, he's young and he's got, he's hungry. And if he performs each and every week and performs, I think Joe Willock is a level-headed lad from his interviews as well. He's come across well. I think he's excited. He's pleased to play in football for the club. I hope he starts on Monday in the midfield 3. And yeah, I mean, long may it continues, because the guy is absolute class on the song to it, but I'm not going to go overboard after one game. And I've got David here. Willock is box midfielder, and he is.
Yeah, he is. He's definitely different to the midfielders that were already had at the club, likes of Shelby and Hayden, and it's nice to see something a bit different, because most of our midfielders are more defensive. So it's nice to see one that can chip in with goals.
This is it, and that's what we need. If he performs each and every week, the guy will be absolutely amazing. And I'm just hoping he keeps it going. And I'd like to see Ryan Ferguson play more games. I want to see ASM producing. I want to see whoever's up front. I hope the girl starts as well, and Gisele's coming back as well. I just got one from David, so I just read that as well. So I saw the press conference there in a minute, and I want to come on to this about we've got to go back to it again, because the more I think about it, Reese, the more I'm just absolutely sick about it, And this is from Tune for Change, and on the back page of People's Getting Abuse, we hope you die. And it says, Team Boss Boost reveals 5 messages from Owen fans as football comes together to tackle online haters. Now, Holly, this is absolutely sick. I mean, I don't want to see this in football. I don't want to see our fans getting a bad name for ourselves. I hear that. And for me, they're not football fans at all whatsoever. I mean, we need to root them out, kick him out. I don't want nothing to do with it. You know, they're not Newcastle fans. But what's your take on it?
Well, it's something I've got quite a bit to say on because there's different points. Obviously, it's disgusting. Football is a great sport that we all love and we're all passionate about, but it is just a sport at the end of the day. You shouldn't be bringing in personal things, death threats, or any type of abuse. It shouldn't be a thing. There's no need for it. It's just unnecessary and just obscene. And Bruce, you can dislike him as a manager, that's fair enough. But when you start to say that you dislike him as a person and you hope that he dies, that is just far too over the top. You don't need that at all. And the people that are saying stuff like that aren't Newcastle fans in my eyes. They might claim to be, but they're not. They should be nowhere near social media or St James Park. They should get a ban from the match and a ban from social media and get prosecuted with fines and probably serve jail time, because if someone walked up to me or you in the street and said that the hope would die or give us death threats, they'd be arrested. So why should it be different just because it's towards Steve Bruce on social media?
Totally agree. Well said, Holly. Well said. I can't disagree with any of you said. I think you were absolutely fantastic. What you said there, I can't really add to that really, because and also, what about the parents? Are the parents teaching them how to say this and that sort of thing with some of their mates? Because I'll tell you something. If I had that sort of thing with anyone I associate with, I would not want to know them, because at the end of the day, we haven't got time for people like that. And send them to jail, take their pieces away from them, yeah? Ban them for life. I'll ban for life on Facebook, Insta, the lot. You said it. You've got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's worrying that people can get so annoyed over football that they feel the need to send an older man death threats. It's actually scary, but I guarantee you they wouldn't say that to him in person. They just think they're cool on social media to get reactions and probably have a joke about it with their mates or whatever, but it's not cool at all. It makes them a coward. But like this newspaper that you've got on the screen, I had a massive problem with that and the way it was portrayed, because to me, the way they're putting that across is like all Newcastle fans are sending Bruce hate and death threats, which they're not. It's a tiny minority of people that are absolute idiots who shouldn't even be allowed to call themselves Newcastle fans. And I don't like the fact that they've put it across like that, because me and you and most genuine Newcastle fans, I think this is disgusting. We don't tolerate it at all, and we don't think it's acceptable. And the people that are saying stuff like that, that's who they should be putting that across to, not making it out like the whole fan base is saying that, because you can't stereotype people, because that's exactly what they're doing. And I feel like the media, at any given chance, do anything they can to make our fan base seem bad, and it's just not acceptable, because we're not. We've got one of the best fan bases in the world, and we don't tolerate stuff like this.
Don't tolerate it at all, Pet. You're absolutely right. I mean, we got the best fans in the world in my eyes. Excuse me. Right. And we love our football. We turn up in our mum suite. But unfortunately, you get, like I said, they get idiots here as well. You're absolutely right. And I've got some there. Jay said hi, and John Holly. Hi, Jay. Hope you're okay. Claire, any predictions for Monday? I think you're going to get beat by 3 goals, in my opinion. Andrew said, well said, Holly. Cameron said, is it the same old story, Newcastle? So is it the managers? If it's the owners actually needs to leave, hating on people is wrong. Wrong end of Bruce early trying to do his job. It's a hard one.
Well, like, obviously a lot of people that has been involved with Newcastle over the years have had hate, and most of it has just been directed towards like what they're doing on the pitch and what they're doing towards the club, which is acceptable because we have a right to criticise them for that. So we're paying our money and following our club, and if things aren't good enough, we should be allowed to say that. But this is one of the first times that there's actually been people's lives threatened and stuff, and that there's just unacceptable. There's no need.
Yeah, I totally agree there. Totally agree. 100% there, Claire. Please smash the likes up to my videos, subscribe if you're new, and please follow Twitter on Holly Blade 05. She is a mega star. I got Thomas here as well. It's very rude to say something like, I hope they get caught and get thrown the job. They can burn it out. That's a bit over the top there, Thomas, man. You got the first bit right. The second one, I'm not sure. Claire said, well said, it's just evil to send death threats. They should be locked up for it. They don't represent your club. Well said, Claire. 100% there. Thomas, I was sure Bruce is a nice lad, but he ain't a good manager. I totally agree there. Even if you want, even Tom over your care, mate. Andrew said, I'm glad I'm not on Twitter or Facebook, etc. Just YouTube. That'll do for me. Too many morons on social media. Wow.
I agree with him. Like, there's been many times that I've thought about just coming off social media and stuff because it can be vile. But in a modern world, most people use it, and it can have some very good things as well. Like, I wouldn't have been on these shows and stuff if it wasn't for social media. But yeah, if you are getting hate and stuff like that, obviously you shouldn't be and you need to report it and stuff, but if it is too much, I would just say delete your account and you'll have a much happier life, because people that are on a lot of these apps, some of them just sit on there all day because they're so bored and lonely and whatever. They just sit on there all day to do anything they can to get a reaction, and sometimes it's spreading vile hate. So yeah, it's not very good, and the apps need to do more about it.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was thinking a couple of social media a couple of years ago when I got trialed, and I wasn't best pleased whatsoever. So I think I was told by Man U fans, some different Man fan, and them said, John, you're not coming off on Twitter. Don't let them win. And I said, you know what? I got so many people following this, and I think, why should I go? You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I'll bit back at them, and I just blocked them at the end of the day, and I can't do with people like that. Do you know what I mean? I'm not here to argue. I just had to have a banter, have fun, and that's just all about. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to be picked on. I don't want you to be picked on. If anyone picks on you, Holly, let us know, right? You got me back all the time, and Paul's got you back as well, my guy. And I've got Cameron here. He may not be a good manager, but with the owners Newcastle have, unfortunately, he is probably the best they can get. Well, I want this guy out to the end of the season, Cameron, to be honest with you, and if he doesn't leave, he may take us soon. I've got Ethan as well. I agree. Thomas is nice blood, but he isn't the type of manager we're looking for, but he can get the job done. Well, I hope he goes at the end of the season, if anything. Andrew Seaton said, evening, Tom. And said, evening, Claire. Claire's getting some support, isn't she? She's absolutely fantastic. David has said, even Andrew and Claire. Tom said, Newcastle doing 2-1 on Monday evening. I hope you're right, Tom. Claire said, even David. John, I'm from Rolling Skill, just doing the roads from Consett. Andrew, I used to live in Consett, man. And I tell you something, I mean, I used to got a club in there. Trades, 70C. And going used to do the demi as well, man. But I'm too old for that. I'm afraid I will not be going back there clubbing. Absolutely no chance. And I've got Claire again, I believe. Always best to report and block the trolls on Twitter. You're absolutely spot on. Claire, you're always right. She's a massive Manchester United fan, and she comes on me chat all the time. We do love her, and she's a mega star. And Cam said, who would you get to replace him, though? Well, Eddie Howe, Thomas Frank, Patrick Vieira, those three I'd take all day long. I really would.
Well, I think that is the problem, because like Bruce was our 20th choice or something stupid like that.
Yeah,
the club didn't want him as first choice, but he is the best we could get because the club's in that much of a mess. It's a job that not many people want to take on, which you can understand. And until Ashley leaves, I don't think we can get anyone better than Bruce at this present moment, because it's just such a difficult job that isn't appealing to people, unfortunately.
This is the thing. I mean, there's other managers out there. You want Sam Allardyce as well, and even come back to Newcastle, because you know what he's like working for Mike Ashley as well. He knows that. But at the end of the day, the club is great. You look at the club, right? It's like, the Milan, AC Milan or Inter Milan of English football, right? If they can get it right, the club is there, the city is there, right? But it's the owner. The owner's the problem.
Yeah, like he's been the one for the past 14 years that's just holding us back. And as soon as he goes, we could go on to do absolutely great things and become one of the best clubs in the country, because we have so much potential and we've been there before in the late 90s and early 2000s, and I don't think it'll be hard for us to get back there as long as we're stable in the Premier League, we don't get relegated, and then we'll get a new manager and a new owner that have the same views as the fans and want to take us back to the top.
You're absolutely right, and that could take years to come. Unfortunately, you know, we need new owners, and guess what? If you get new owners, the sky's the limit, and I just hope that we get new owners very soon. I still believe it's going to be a takeover. Do you know what I mean? But that's either here now. But I got Claire again. Thanks so much, John. I really appreciate your kind words, and tell your mum as well, Claire. She's a superstar as well. I've got Sharky in the building. Big up to me, guy, and even John and Holly. I hope you're okay. And we're going to miss you on your chat as well, Jim. So we're going to make sure you don't go. I've got Cameron getting 100% until Ashley leaves. Unfortunately, those people you name, I don't think will be interested. It's a shame because it's a great club in the right city at the wrong time. And I'm said, would any of you take Temby Pookie for Norwich? I still think you can do a job in the Premier League.
Probably, I wouldn't say no to him, but I would have other people that I would rather bring in. So if we could get someone better, probably not, but I wouldn't be absolutely against it.
Fair enough. I mean, look, when he played for Norwich, I mean, he was in the Premier League. I thought he was absolutely dynamic. I thought he was fantastic. And then I don't know how many goals he scored this season for Norwich in the Championship. I think they were second at the minute. So hopefully he gets them up into the Premier next season if he's still there. I've got James again. Steve Bruce, like all managers, are in a no-win situation with Mike Ashley in charge. He's absolutely right. Do you agree, Holly? I think he's bang on.
Yeah, he's spot on. That's what I've been saying. Like, no, as much as we don't like Bruce and stuff, it's hard for anybody to do a job. Like, even Rafa, he could have took us to the top half of the table and even start tapping into the European spots, but he wasn't able to because of Mike Ashley, and that'll be the same for anyone that comes here, which is why no one wants to come.
Do you know what it is, right? I mean, if they come to me and say, look, John, defensive manager Newcastle, it won't be them interviewers. I'll be interviewing them. I'll be asking the questions. I want to know, what do you want from this club? Do you want to qualify for Europe? Do you want to push on for a cup? Or would you rather just happy sitting 17th? And if it's the bottom, I would just say, you know what? Thanks so much indeed. You're not my guy. You know, I'm an ambitious manager. I want to push for Europe or fight for Europe. I want to win a cup. And if you can't back my ambition, then I can't work for you. But Rafa Benitez has tried to do everything at Newcastle. Tom's going to read it out for Tom. Just get Rafa back and actually share a world of owners who they want and get him in now, because Bruce has got to leave now. I can see where you're coming from, Tom, because all the abuse he's getting at this moment in time, for the sake of his health, I think he should go, because it's going to get a lot worse if things don't go well.
Like, yeah, I agree with that. If it's really affecting him, that it would be best for him to go. But then again, why should he have to leave the job that he wants to do just because of a few trolls? Like, social media and the police and whoever should be doing more about it instead of letting him just walk away and then do nothing about it. They need to actually sort out the cause of this problem, because then in a few years we could get another manager that someone doesn't like and he could be in the same position. So we need to sort it out now before it gets worse.
So Mike Ashley is the problem then, really, isn't he? He's the problem.
Well, yeah, like Mike Ashley's a problem, but nothing's an excuse for the death threats and stuff like that. Yeah, you can't blame Mike Ashley, you can't blame Bruce, you can't blame anyone apart from those idiots that are putting it out there.
Exactly. That's why I've banned a lot of them. If they're going to send abuse like that, Holly, I've banned a lot of them. Do you know what I mean? So I would. I'll come down with it. I got James again. I'm sick of the YouTube, John. I'm going to grind it out. You won't be losing me. I tell you what, mate, you won't be losing me neither, because you're my guy. And, you know, you're big on me building all the time. And it's great. I've got David here. Tune on me. What time is your stream starting? I'll let James answer that question. And GM said, I miss Rafa Benitez. I rate Alan Pardew as well. Did you rate Alan Pardew as well, Holly?
Well, you've got to appreciate what he did for us when he got us into the Europa League in the 2012-13 season, I think it was. But, like, apart from that, not really. But, like you say, you can't give him the full blame because majority of the responsibility of what happened lies with Mike Ashley again. But I certainly wouldn't say that I liked Pardew or would have him back or anything like that.
I spoke to Lionel last night from Japan, and he's a Chelsea fan. He's just talking about in Pardew's time. He's just mentioned the French players we've had, because Graham Carr used to be our chief scout. He was getting French players like Gabriel Ratan, he wasn't good enough. Amuritano from Dijon, I think it was, he wasn't good enough. Sylvain Malvour was absolutely terrible. They all played for Pardew, right? And they just didn't make it. We had Mbu as well, who's supposed to be the next best thing. Then he went off to Roma, and he was a superstar playing for Roma. And we had some good players play for Pardew, like Sissoko, Kabayan, Cisse, Bar, and actually just ripped him apart, didn't he?
Definitely, and you can't believe what happened because them players were doing so well. Obviously, had the great season in Europe, and then literally the season after, it just all started going downhill, and you just couldn't believe it was the same squad. It looked like we'd replaced them all with a bunch of like championship players. I couldn't believe what happened. It was crazy.
Totally agree. We played bought Ronaldo, didn't we? I thought he did decent for us, you know what I mean, the relegation season as well. And but you're right, Riviere was terrible. Riviere was awful, man. He only got one goal in that season, and that's from the free kick, and that was deflected in the back of the net. And I said that he ain't going to make it Newcastle. Remy Cabela's another player as well. Everyone thought it was going to be a Bala sort of thing, but he just didn't show it enough for Newcastle, didn't he?
Yeah, that's the same as a lot of the time. We'll have good players and then we'll have horrendous players. There never seems to be any in between for us, but we should never have went down with that squad because we did have a lot of talents in that squad.
Well said. That's Steve McClaren for you, you know what I mean? At times when you get beat, you used to smirk as well. I can remember after the Chelsea game, we got beat 5-1, and he just smirked in his interview, and he should have got sacked for that as well, just for doing that. So, got Sharky again. I agree with Holly. Social media needs to up their game big time, and it starts now. Tom said, imagine we get hammered off Chelsea and Man U with Bruce Leaf. I can't see it. Can you see it, Holly? You can't see it, can you?
Nah, not at all.
I can't see, I'm afraid. And Jim said, Alan Pardew worked well given the circumstances. I have to agree with you. Not my guy, but I thought he did okay getting us fifth in the league. Tom said, Alexa Twitter used to do like a face recognition or a fingerprint to let you sign in to stop all this happening. I'm going to have to agree with you. Whether Twitter or Facebook will do that's another thing. I got Andrew again, get Sharky, great Sharky. I'll go walking, great for mental health. I suffer anxiety. Andrew, I hope you're well, mate, and God bless you, my friend, and just hope you're still okay. And again, Pardew didn't buy any of the players when he was manager. They were brought behind his back. He gelled them together. He got us fifth, and Mike actually destroyed his hard work. You can blame Pardew.
Yeah, like I do agree. I think people were too harsh on Pardew. They were too quick to put the blame on him. And like I said, I don't particularly have a strong dislike for him. I think most responsibility should have lied with Mike Ashley, which is the same for lots of things. But then again, I'm not Pardew's biggest fan, and I certainly wouldn't want him back at the club.
Definitely not. I totally agree for me, but I wouldn't have him back as well. And Sharky Thompson stream starts, mate. You need to ask GMs that. Cameron's a round off, guys. Have a good weekend. Cameron, thanks for joining me chat and have a lovely weekend as well. Let's hope we win on Monday night. And you stay safe. And GM said, David, I had to pull out the circumstances. I've got Dom in the chat. Welcome, hope you're okay, my guy. And what happened to me invite John? Dom, if you want to come in my chat, mate, then just let us know and I'll wrap you in straight away. Do you know what I mean? And you're also talking to my guy, and hopefully you can talk all things Newcastle. Just if you want to come on next week, my guy, just tell us, get us through, yeah? And David began saying, okay, mate. And Shaggy said, Lightsman's manager said, starts well, it ends badly. Howdy is definitely not coming back. And he's 59 now. And what happened to him in he went to Holland, didn't he? And all the fans were telling him how to coach.
Oh God!
Did you imagine? I don't know if you've seen that.
No, I didn't see it, but that's funny. That
For fans come on the pitch to do that is absolutely shocking, really. And Claire said, John, do you still think Pearson would be a good option for you? Do you know what it is, Claire? If Nigel Pearson came to us, I have no problems at all whatsoever. Because I'll tell you something, he will fix those players up and he will not pull any punches. And as for Joe Linton, he will not be in a Pearson team, I'm telling you, because he wants his players to be working his butt for the whole of the 90 minutes. What do you think, Holly?
not for me. I wouldn't want Nigel Pearson, but I can understand if people would like him, because I know some people just are so desperate to get Bruce out and they think they want someone else to come in and do a job, but not for me.
Fair enough. I mean, probably to the end of the season, I'd take him. But after that, if he keeps this up, I have to say thanks so much, Nigel. You can go your own way. And I got Sharky again. He loves me. He loves my chat. He loves me chat. I don't know what I mean. He's a super fan, him. I wouldn't want Rafa Benitez back now. He left on good terms. I would want Eddie Howe. Do you know what it is? I'd take Eddie Howe all day long. You know why? Because he knows how to coach and he knows how to play football.
I would take Eddie Howe. I think he would do a good job, but I disagree about the Rafa Benitez thing, because I would absolutely love Rafa back.
I love Rafa as well, because what he's done, I think he's great for a takeover. And once a takeover is done, if there's a takeover, I hope it is, then the first guy I get back from me is Rafa Benitez, because I want him to finish the job. Because, okay, the football may not be exciting, but he knows how to defend and he knows how to have a plan. And he knows when you make the subs at the right time and you're getting world-class players playing for Newcastle with the right backup.
Yeah, Rafa Benitez, I think that, he did leave on good terms, but if he came back, I think he could leave on even better terms, because he has the potential to really get us to push on in the league and potentially even, dare I say, win some type of cup if we had new owners, obviously. And he's just a world-class manager. He's brilliant. And like you say, he's can attract good players, and that's something that we need. And he'd be the perfect option for us to start building up the club again under new ownership. He'd be my first choice personally.
Definitely. When he was at Napoli, because obviously I watched Italian football, he was at Napoli and he spent £72 million in his first season. Brought in Jose Callejon, Gonzalo Higuain, he bought Dries Mertens, Pepe Reina, and he bought Jorginho. He bought in Raul Biel as well, and Guran. £72 million in his first season, right? And he didn't spend a lot. He didn't spend a lot of money, but he got that money, and I tell you what, he made Napoli a good team. He made Napoli a very good team.
Yeah, well, even under us, you could tell that he doesn't need a lot of money to do something, because I think his net spend was minus 2 million. And think of what he did with that. You know what I mean? Like, managers with that normally would have you relegated, but he did a great job, got us mid-table, and with a bit of money, not even massive amounts, just a decent amount of money, he could really get us to do great things.
Totally agree. I mean, he ain't going to spend 50, 60 million on a player if he doesn't think he's going to be worth that player. Do you know what I mean? He wants a specific player for a specific position. Like, I can remember in the not in the Champions League, in the Championship.
Bit of a difference.
I know. Oh, bless. Champions League. It's worth it saying 50 million there. But listen, I mean, when we were top of the table in January in the Championship, and he wanted and just back, Julian just Townsend, and he wanted another left back, and he wasn't bat, and he knew the cracks were appearing, you know, and since then it has done, and man, that he just didn't want to spend a lot of money, and listen, Rafa just by the name, not for the money.
Well, I don't know about you, but the squad's practically the same now as it was under Rafa, obviously minus a few players. And the exact same team under Rafa Benitez looked so well put together, organised, disciplined. They just looked like a good, solid team that could easily finish mid-table. But now under Bruce, and you could argue the squad's actually better because he spent a lot more money, will look like literally a struggling Premier League club that'll end up in the Championship. And especially in defence, the defence under Rafa was so well organised and one of the best in the league, I thought, outside the top 6. Now they look so shaky and nervous and completely unorganised, and you just, yet again, you struggle to believe it's the same players, and that's just proves that on the training pitch and stuff like that, he's just not a good coach.
He's terrible, isn't he? He's absolutely awful. I've always said that. You know, I mean, it's just a 1990s training, not in a modern time. He ain't in a modern time. He's not in a modern manager. Do you know what I mean? We need someone's going to be there now. Otherwise, we're just going to be behind again. But Clev said Eddie Howe would be good. Davis might walk from Twitter as when sanity is playing up this time. All the stress isn't good for your sanity. I can feel your pain, my friend. And James said the reason I wouldn't want to have my back because it doesn't always work certain time around. Obviously, I wouldn't. Do you get me? Honestly, Sharky, I do understand what you're trying to say because we've got like a certain time. I just don't think it's going to work out. Sort of like Kevin Keegan when he came back, he wasn't back properly. You had to wear. And look at Neil Lennon, for example, at Celtic, right? He gets them the treble, right? And then he's having a second season this season.
Yeah, I can completely understand what he's saying because obviously we don't want to like ruin the relationship that was between Rafa Benitez and the fans by like him coming back and not doing as well the second time. But I can't see that happening. Like, I wouldn't want him back under Ashley because I think then it would have a possibility to go wrong. But under new owners where he was backed, and obviously Amanda Staveley has lots of respect for him and has said multiple times that she would love him to be the manager of Newcastle under the Saudi ownership. I don't think it would go wrong, so I wouldn't mind him back because I think that he would be fully supported so that he could do a good job.
Yeah, I agree as well. Sorry, Sharky, I know everyone's got an opinion, but at the end of the day, I think I'd take him back and see what it does with the Saudi money. So you're right. So I've got Dom again, always here, fella. Yeah, definitely. Tell us when you want to come on, my friend, or we talk about it, and I'll get you on next week. Noor Pomzala. And he's a good guy, by the way. I've got Dave Walken is great. Andy, hope you're okay. Hope your Assies Kenny as well. I should go for Claudio Ranieri. What do I think, John and Holly? What do you think? Claudio Ranieri, 69 though, at Sampdoria. He's doing okay.
He's doing okay, but especially with his age, he'll be wanting to retire soon, I would imagine. And I don't think that someone that's looking to retire would want to come to Newcastle because it's a very, very stressful, hard job. And like, it's so much pressure. And I just don't think that he would really want to come. But like I said, I would just, if the takeover was to happen in the summer, I'd just stick with Bruce until then and then bring in a good manager when we could actually get someone that's decent instead of just having to look about for anybody that's willing to take the job.
I mean, I'll tell you, I absolutely agree. I'll take a young manager as well, like a Thomas Frank. Any time of the day, Eddie Howe. One of those two guys I'd take. And I'll tell you what, those two will be absolutely amazing for the team. I've got James again, Newcastle United, 2016-17 squad in Champions League. Imagine. Make sure put listen to that, mind. I hope he's not listening. And I've got Tim, so Iceman has a gourmet. And Clever Ranieri's finished now. I don't know where he is these days. Sharky's at Sampdoria yet at the moment. He's on the contract till the end of the season. And he's doing okay. He plays 4-4-2 and he's still showing us he's still there at the club and he's still funny as anything. And Jim said exactly. Rafa has an excellent relationship with the best fans in UK. 100%. I would definitely take Rafa as offered.
Yeah.
And you said the Tinker Man, no chance, Andy. The Tinker Man. That's what you call him because he keeps making subs. Sharky said, I would take Frank Lampard. I would, but I don't think it'll come.
Yeah.
And Tom Dixon said, I would love to have Frank Lampard as manager or Steven Gerrard. I think they'd be talking to Rafa Benitez first, or Steve would. He talked to Rafa Benitez, but I don't think, excuse me, I don't think he'll come because of one Mike Ashley. I'm just going to show you this tweet as well, right, quickly on Paul. He's on our chat on a Monday night, and he was on last night. He had a good point here. He said, regarding to Alex Bruce, he said, so the comments on Alex Bruce's interview on TalkSport has been turned off. So basically, kind of comment, yeah, because of the fan base will not lie down and be wrongly accused. TalkSport, you are an effing disgrace. Do you think he's right there? We can't comment.
I didn't know that, but if that is true, which obviously it will be, because otherwise you wouldn't see it. Yeah, that's disgusting. And like was said about the newspaper, they're portraying it like the whole fan base is doing this when it's literally a handful of people that don't represent us whatsoever. So yeah, that is shameful of TalkSport, and they shouldn't be doing that.
I totally agree. Don't come out of comments like that, one thing, and then switch off the comments. You know what I mean? People have an opinion. But again, us Newcastle fans, some of the Newcastle fans are toxic in a minute in time, I'm not going to lie. But some of our fans are magnificent. You get the small, like I said earlier, the small minority sort of thing. So, you're right. It is a disgrace. If you're not allowed to talk about it, what is the point? Like, Sharky's on like, what's Talk Sport? Don't get us wrong, I will listen to it sometimes, you know what I mean? But some of the pundits, man, bigging up Steve Bruce, week in and week out, right? It's just an absolute disgrace. Honestly, man. Why don't you just can't be honest and just speak the truth? Say it however like it is.
Well, odd time there's the odd pundit that is okay, but most of them just have an anti-Newcastle agenda. But I don't like most of the media whatsoever because, like I said earlier, all they do for me is constantly try to stereotype Newcastle fan base as this like horrible, toxic group of people that are deluded and just vile, which is completely untrue and not an accurate representation whatsoever. And it's just, it shouldn't be allowed because they constantly pick up on tiny things. Like there could be 1,000 positive comments and one negative one, and they'll repost that one negative one to make it seem like we're all saying stuff like that when it's not. It's 1 in 1,000. They just do anything they can and pick up on the most small things to make us look bad.
Totally agree. You've got players like Jamie O'Hara. He's an absolutely awful pundit, man. I mean, the guy should be sacked. He's picking up Steve Bruce like never. I'm not surprised that he slept with him, man. You know what I mean? He'd be better off sleeping with him if he loves him that much. Do you know what I mean? And you got, Alan Brazil, he's like that. Do you know what I mean? He kind of sticks up for the fans as well. Like Dorman Alan Brazil. But you got some Adrian Durham. Right, he's sticking up for our fans, yeah. Saying that Steve Bruce he's not that good a manager anyway, so he's sticking up for us anyway. But I've got GMs again. I will support NUFC in any division, anywhere. So will most people. So will we. And so I'll bloody hate Talk Sport. Oh, by the way, I missed your tweet earlier, John. We got Steven Gerrard's number. I'm afraid I haven't because at the end of the day, sort of he's at Rangers sort of things. I wouldn't know. And if I do get his number, I should let you know. And he was like, don't do Twitter that much, mainly YouTube. And he said, I prefer BBC 5 Live Sport. That's when Robbie Savage is not on there. And I got Andrew said, what's the name of the Atlanta manager? Is there Pierre Luigi Gasparini? That is his name. I can tell that right away because he's doing good things at Atlanta. Okay, they went up and down this season. But last season, they scored 97 goals in Serie A. Yeah? And another couple of games they might have won the league for the first time in their history. I would have loved to see Atlanta win that Serie A title for the first time in their history. They got a good manager in Gasparini. I don't know what's going on with him and Gomez sort of thing. Those two's not getting along. He could be on his way. And, it's just a shame if he is going to go and he's not in the team now because they've both been having a bit of an argument. So that's not good. So Pierre Carlo Gasparini, his name is. And Steve Bruce manager next season? Hopefully not. He should be gone. Basically, do you think Steve Bruce stays manager next season, whatever happens? Do you think he's BSing? Do you think so, Holly?
No, not whatever happens. Like, if there was a takeover, no, he wouldn't stay as manager. But if Mike Ashley's still here, then yeah.
Well, if he does, if he's there next season, I feel the worst for us because we got 12 players out of contract at the end of the season. And as a manager, he must tell Ashley, say, look, we need proper players coming to the club, right? I want a place that I want. He ain't going to get that chance. Do you know what I mean? I'll tell you what, though, I wouldn't go for that little player called Samari as well in the midfield in the French league. He's got legs. The guy does score a lot of goals, but he's got legs and can create, and he can be a bit like Sissoko. But I don't know if you heard of the guy. Because the guy last season, when Newcastle allegedly offered £36 million for the lad, yeah, he was asked the question, who's this £36 million player? And Steve Bruce refused to give him the name. Within 5 minutes, all the journals and all the Twitter found out who he was. So if we can know who it is, why can't Steve Bruce tell us? He must know.
Do you know, maybe he's just been told not to say anything or whatever. I'm not really sure, to be honest.
And a bunch of just weak. I mean, our media, I'm not being funny, just kind of weak. And, you know, they're not strong. In America, Steve Bruce would have got hit hard. Bad in the Italian league. They would have pressed him big style. And Tom said, confident Bruce to get his P45 at the end of the season. Yay! When new orders comes in, let's hope so.
Yeah, like if the new owners don't come in, then I definitely think that Bruce will still be here. Obviously, he's still under contract next season. And like we've said before, I can't see Ashley telling Bruce to leave or sack him because he just won't. It's just not what Mike Ashley wants to do. So if he doesn't want to do it, he won't do it because that's a Mike Ashley way.
I know. He has to go footballing brain and he doesn't really care. For me, Mike Ashley's taking his eye off the ball. Trying to concentrate on the team and trying to get a set of new businesses as well. He must see what's happening on the pitch. But then again, Charlie does give him monkeys anyway because the guy, he just does. He's egghead. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, all of Mike Ashley's staff don't care. They're all on the same page. It's just shameful. He hasn't employed people that are good for Newcastle and good for football. He's just employed people that he likes and that are his mates.
Shocking. Should be Lee Charlie should leave plumply because he's such a plump. Sorry, he is. Not for me. But I totally agree. But he also is going to communicate with us as well. But unfortunately, that hasn't happened yet. The guy's a liar. So is Ashley. So is Bruce. That's on the pitch, not off it. But there you go. I got him again. I deactivated my Twitter account as I've been targeted by online here as I'm going to the police to sort this out. Do that, mate. If you get abused or anyone get abused on Twitter, you'd sort it out, report them, and block them. That's what I do. And Tom said, I can't stand talk sports. Some of the pundits are a disgrace, and there's too many of them to name. I can remember about 6 months ago, I don't even heard of Georgie Bingham.
I don't know the names of the people, no, sorry.
Well, most of the people in the chat will probably know Georgie Bingham does a Saturday and Sunday show. And she said that she doesn't want to take over to Houghton, basically.
I know who she is now.
Well, I did respect Georgie Bingham, but the moment she come out and say that I don't want to take over to Houghton because I don't feel comfortable, blah, blah, blah. She's an Ipswich Town fan. Just remember that she should concentrate on League One. I'm sure she's a decent lass, but at the end of the day, I'm glad she's not on there anymore. I've turned on her basically because for me, she had a go at us on Twitter, sort of things. I was being honest. I thought she's going to block us, but she didn't. To be honest, I didn't care.
I think it's just jealousy from especially when fans support teams in the lower leagues. They're just kind of bitter that Newcastle have a chance to really go somewhere and their team's rotting in League One or whatever league, and that's not our fault. So I don't know why people are so bitter about it. Just grow up and be happy for another club that can do well. It doesn't really concern them. It's not like we're going to affect them. If we go on to do great things, that won't bother them in League One, and if we do bad, that also won't affect them. So just stay out of it, if you've got nothing positive to say.
Well said. And I said that to her. So I asked her the question, why you don't want us to take over? I don't expect a reply, but why do you not want us to take over? Because as Newcastle fans, we want the best for our club. You got to understand that, Georgie. And then she got all a bit stressy towards this sort of thing. I thought she's going to block. I said, if you want to block us, Georgie, do so. Because for me, I don't care. I just speak the truth. You want the best. and she never came back at us. She never came back at us because she knows I was right. And believe you me, I mean, you know, she didn't answer at all whatsoever. And all the Newcastle fans had a her as well. So she deserves it. And I've got Simon Jordan here. Not Simon Jordan. I wish I had Simon Jordan be chatting you now. I thought Simon Jordan's in my chat. Oh, wow. I was going to say Simon Jordan. But I had a tweet off him before, mind, once. A couple of years ago, I had a tweet off Simon Jordan once. And to be fair to him, he was spot on to us, you know what I mean? But he said, that Simon Jordan, horrible human being, reminds me of P.S. Morgan. Are you a Simon Jordan fan?
Like, I don't really, to be honest, I don't really have an opinion on any pundits or anything like that. I don't read that deep into stuff. If someone makes a valid point, then I'm like, fair enough, respect them. And then if someone makes a point that is just stupid, like what you were on about with not wanting the takeover to go through, then I just think, yeah, you're not a great pundit. But I wouldn't say I specifically dislike or like any particular pundits.
Wow. I mean, he's going on about it. People say he's picking on Newcastle fans. He's denying it. He's having a go at Newcastle fans. But I can remember a couple of weeks ago when he was on the show and Steve Reef came on the show and he absolutely owed Simon Jordan. He absolutely owed him, right? Simon's giving him this. And then Steve Reef just absolutely shut the whole thing down. And then Jim White have to come in and say, we got to stop this, sort of thing. Yeah, stop it all the time. And otherwise,
well, like, obviously, good on Steve, because if people are being out of order and like stuff like when they've muted the comments on that thing about the hate towards Steve Bruce, that's out of order, and people need to say something. People need to tell them why they're wrong and put them in their place, because they shouldn't be allowed to get away with stuff.
I totally agree, Holly, because at the end of the day, if you're going to come on air, sort of thing, give the guy a chance to speak and stop being drowned by the likes of Simon Jordan and Jim White. Do you know what I mean? Let them speak.
That's what I always think. Why do they have people on if they don't want to hear what they've got to say and they're just going to ignore their points? Like, it's a waste of time. You may as well just sit and have a conversation between the pundits on there and not bother getting fans on if you're not going to listen. Like, that's pointless. I don't know why they do that. And if they don't like what they've got to say, then don't put stuff out there for us to react to. Like, if you can't take it, don't give it out. Just keep your opinions to yourself if you don't want to hear what other people's got to say in retaliation.
100%. Well said. And I'll have to go and talk sport. If they ask them to come and talk sport, I'll go and talk sport. I'll have my opinion. Do you know what I mean? I would talk to them. I have my opinion. I probably wouldn't show up, but at the end of the day, I'll put them right to the best of my abilities. So, do you know what's come on? There's one there. I've got Tom as well. I must be the only one that Alex Bruce hasn't blocked him yet. You're lucky. The thing is, this is the thing. I don't tweet these superstars these days because I fear they don't reply back.
Have you been blocked by him?
I haven't been blocked by Alex Bruce, not yet. I haven't spoke to him. I have no retraction room at all whatsoever. I've been blocked off Stan Collymore though, because I might say, and he blocked us within half an hour. And I think, wow, it just goes to show that Stan Collymore is just an nasty. Oh, carry on, go on.
Oh, I was just going to say, yeah, like, you can, like, if people are saying vile stuff like giving you hate, then yeah, you can block them. But if you block them just for giving their opinion, then that's just pathetic, because you're having an opinion, so why can't other people have it? It's not like a bad thing. I disagree with people sometimes, they disagree with me sometimes, but does it mean that I have to block them and cause an argument? Like, it's allowed. Everyone's got their own views.
Yeah, I totally agree, because the fact is, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. You have to have a communication. You have to have the communication with the fans and the player, sort of thing, the fans and the horse, well, that sort of thing, you know what I mean? But Stan Collymore, for me, is the woman beater sort of thing. The way he hit Eureka Johnson, I don't think anyone say you do not lay hands on a lass. Never in a million years, I'm telling you. That should be up in the charts for that. And I think the courts have bottled it as well, big time. Do you know what I mean? So And I got Dom again. Newcastle versus Chelsea at the Bridge is something like we haven't taken 19 points out of possible 75. We've taken 19 points out of 75 against Chelsea. That is poor, that man.
It is, yeah, but like I'm not surprised by it because we don't have very good records in recent years. But I do think that Chelsea don't look particularly good at the minute, and I think we could easily, if we go out with the right mentality and put the best squad out possible and we're up for the game, I think we could easily get it. Well, not easily, but I think we have the potential to get a result.
Totally agree. Totally agree. I still think you're going to get beat. I did say 3-0, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than people made out. I think with the goal there, like you said, played the right formation in the best position, 4-3-3, or even 4-2-3-1. I think Sharky will probably agree. 4-2-3-1 is going to have to be, I think, for that game. And then hopefully we might get something out of the game. Tom said you watched Chelsea last night. I didn't think they weren't that good. We agree. TalkSport is more American in style, just looking for quick headliners.
Yeah, they don't reflect the English fan base whatsoever. They just spread rubbish.
And yeah, it's getting that way. It used to be great, but now it's just so American sort of thing. And I'm sorry, it's lost its glamour. Lost its glamour. I can remember when TalkSport had like Richard Kaufman. He was absolutely dynamite. You know what I mean? It was him, Bizarre, and Parry. Those two were fantastic double act. You know what I mean? I can remember James Well used to be on there. TalkSport used to be mixed like as well, like politics as well. So I just think it's lost the plot in a minute. England, you know what I mean? So, and James said I haven't been plotted by Alice Bruce yet. You're lucky. I haven't yet. I don't even speak to him. And Anne said, Tom, I thought they were talking crap. And James said, if you don't have anything that's nice to say, don't say that at all. I totally agree with you, kid. Tom again said, can you remember when Jim White said the takeover go through first attempt and we still win and did a no cause? It was full of lies. I can't stand him. That's Jim White.
Yeah, but in his defense, I think lots of people, journalists and even just regular fans, I think a lot of people got a bit too carried away, which, that's fair enough. And we're like, oh, yes, it's definitely going to happen because that's what I guess you would expect because it was all positive. It was just the Premier League that stopped it. So, I mean, you can't say, obviously, that he's a bad guy just because he said that the takeover will definitely go through straight away because, lots of people were saying that at the time. We didn't know.
Totally agree. I mean, everyone thinks Jim White's the one to trust. Sometimes you can trust him. On this occasion, you just cannot trust him at all whatsoever these days. So, I mean, most Newcastle fans don't like him anyway. But I got James going, Chelsea 1, Newcastle 1. Keep that faith. I hope you're right, my guy. And Don, welcome to the chat again. Everyone have their views, yes. But if we got that views online on social media, what would we do? Block and report.
Yeah, I've been quite lucky. I haven't had that much negativity on social media. An odd time that I have, I've just blocked them and then you don't have to see it anymore. And thankfully, for a long time, I haven't had any nasty comments made. So I'm quite happy about that. And it's a shame that other people are getting all this hate because it's not deserved.
Not at all. I mean, Twitter should be fun, enjoyable, having a banter. If you have an opinion, it's all, like I said, it's also having an opinion. You all have to have an opinion sort of thing, but just don't go over the top. Just don't have a go. Do you know what I mean? And just don't get angry about it and don't get mad about it. You know what I mean? So otherwise, it's just going to stress you out. And we don't want that, don't we? You know what I mean? But there you go. And I've got this one here. I just pulled it up there. I mean, this is what Alex Booster said. I'm going to read it anyway. The levels of abuse directed at my dad were, through me, is disgusting. Steve Bruce has got social media, by the way, so it's gone through his phone. As bad as I've seen it, someone said they hope my dad dies of COVID. I'm sorry, I'm speechless for that. That's the kind of messages we get, and it's not just one or two. And that's came from Alex Bruce.
Well, I did see someone that followed me, which I have actually blocked now, not because they said anything to me, but because they said they replied. I don't know if it was to Alex Bruce, but they tweeted out there saying that they hoped Steve Bruce died of COVID, and I replied to the person saying you should be ashamed of yourself, and I expected that they would take the tweet down. They didn't reply to me, and I blocked them because I didn't want them on my page or following me, because that's not someone I want to be associated with at all. It's the most disgusting thing to say, and yeah, you shouldn't wish that on anybody, no matter how much you dislike them or whatever. It's just disgusting.
Well said, Holly. Well said. And I'll tell you what, I would have took it further, so I would definitely report that person as well. That's the sort of person we need to report. Get them off our socials. Get them out of here. We've got to root them out. We got to name and shame them to the police, to the authorities, right? And lock them up, sort of thing. You know what I mean? Lock them up, let them learn a lesson, and never come back on our socials again, ever in a million years. I've got James again. I enjoy YouTube, but you have to block the trolls. That's my way of going forward. I have to agree there, mate. John, you should have joined the Fans Feud League for OSM. Do you know what it is, right? I don't know anything about that, but I'm hoping so. Do you know what I mean? If you get them to tweet us again, I'll join. Yeah, definitely join, my guy. And Twitter has always been toxic. That's the reality. Unfortunately, I have to agree with you, James. Again, you're right. And Holly, sorry, John. Are you free after John's stream to speak? Are you going to go on?
I am.
Yeah?
Yeah, I am. So
brilliant, because Dom's going to come on my chat, hopefully in a couple of days' time. I might even get him on. I might get him on Sunday, sort of thing. Get him on my chat on a Sunday, sort of thing. You know what I mean? Have a chat about Newcastle, sort of thing. But listen, there you go. You got another one there as well, man. You know.
Yeah, just give us a message on Twitter if you're following us.
That guy, yeah, get him I think he's following you anyway. If you get him followed, right, and it's NUFC Iceman, and obviously definitely sending a link anyway. But Holly, you're gonna make it big on this chat. I'm telling you, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I might be already following back. I don't know. I struggle to keep track of who I'm following and who I'm not following. So if someone wants us to follow them, just give us a tweet and I'll do it, because I normally miss people who follow us.
And guys, if you heard that, at HollyBlade05, that's a Twitter account. And if you don't follow her, you're going to regret it for the rest of your life. But also follow me as well, mind. Also, stick a like on my video. And also, please subscribe if you are new. I think I had about quite a few people watching us at the moment in time, and you know, which is great. So, and when I did a link interview last week, I had over 100 people watching live, which I think is fantastic. I'm so blessed at that sort of thing, and I've got James there. Get on this channel. He's fantastic, excellent content. That's James. I totally agree. And awesome. Evening, Juan. Evening, Joe. Hope you don't play on Monday Night Mind. And Sharky, big up my guy in the building, man. And subscribe to John Sinclair. You got it. And also follow the one and only Holly, because she's my guy. And you have to have my guys in this chat, and you know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, what can I say? So, we'll wrap this up very quickly, because you got to get on Dom's channel as well. I don't know what time he wants to be on there for, but I'm sure he's going to entertain you, you know what I mean? And I hope he does, because he's a great lad. And I've also got terms of John. How is the ASMR channel going? It's going fine. It's going good. I mean, ASMR. It's all about Joe Linton.
Yeah, when I was on I can't remember the name. The Tomb Review. Yes, that's the name. I couldn't think of it. When I was on the Tomb Review last night, yeah, I heard about the ASMR with Joe Linton.
15 million. I'm not even going to mention that. 15 million pound. You'd be lucky to get that. I'll tell you what, if they get 15 million pounds for Joe Linton, I'll tell you something. I want to cut of that, mind. I want people to come and say, John, you're 100% right. I was right all along. So, but there you go. I've got David here. I'm now off Twitter for no one to see. I'm now off Twitter for now. See what Stancy does. I will be back on Twitter in the near future. I will follow you and Holly when I come back. Please do, David, because at the end of the day, you know, we're gonna miss you, man. And Joe Linton's worth nout. I'll take a loss. I'll take a loss as well, because for me, I've said it before, I'll say it again. He ain't a footballer. He ain't good enough. Yeah, he's a waste of money. He's a waste of shirt. I'm sorry. He's just not good enough.
It would be a massive positive just to get him off the books, just to save the wage bill because he'll be on big wages, and just to free up the space in the squad because he's just not necessary. We don't need him.
He's on 95 grand a week, apparently. That's all I was told, and I had to take at face value of that. I think he's the highest paid player at the club. I mean, and I'll tell you what, if I was Joe Linton, I'd just say, you know what? I don't want to leave Newcastle. I'm chilling. I'm just going to sit on my ass all day. I'll sit on my ass for 4 years. Milk it off sort of thing. I'm just chilling. And at the end of my contract, I want a big fat pay rise at the end of it. No, I'm sorry. Get this guy off for a 2-year loan deal somewhere in Spain or Italy. Well, not in Italy. I don't even be good enough for Italy. To Germany, 2-year deal, happy days. Get off the wage bill. And that's that. And then James, don't rate Andy Carroll, Dwight Girl. They're both finished.
I agree.
I agree as well. And look at the lad from West Ham, Sebastian Haller, his name is. Bought him for £45 million and cost 22 million when he went to Ajax. And Dave said, just want to get better on, get my sanity better before coming on the Twitter. But as soon as I will follow you, Holly, and you as well, John. Well, thanks so much, David, and hopefully you get better very, 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 very soon. And Jim said he is smashing it at Ajax. He used to play in the Dutch league as well, by the way. He used to play for Utrecht, if I remember correctly. So then he left there to join Eintracht Frankfurt in Germany. He's rocking it up there. Went to West Ham, didn't quite work out for him, and then he's gone back to Dutch football where he made his name. And Tom Dick said, great show, everybody. Thank you very much indeed, man. So I'm going to wrap this up quickly in the minute. I'll give you another 5 more minutes or so you can get yourself prepared for Dom. And if Dom wants us to come on this channel, that'd be great. If not, I'll get him on my channel over the weekend, and I can tell him he can come on this. So yeah, I mean, we've got no game tomorrow, and we've got a Monday night game against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, and I've got James getting great shows. Thanks so much, my guy. And how do you think it'll get on? Because after you say it's do okay.
Honestly, I don't know what's happening, but the audio's going crazy. I can't hear anything you're saying. It's just like screeching noise.
So is this any better? Oh, hang on.
No, it's still the same. It's fine when you're not talking, but then when you're talking, it's crazy.
What I'm gonna do, right? You stay there. I'm gonna come out. I'm gonna come back on again.
Okay.
Is that better? Hello? Hello?
It's still doing
mad.
the exact same thing.
Oh, that's mad.
I have no idea what I'm talking about. Thanks for having us on again, John, and just give us a message on Twitter.
I don't know. Is that better?
Just drop out the street.
John. Don't go away. Hello?
I don't know what's happening.
I don't know what's happening here, man.
It's like, honestly, it's like crackling. It's like a fire.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, man. I'm gonna have to type it.
Oh my god, I don't know what's happening.
Hello, Isabella. Oh,
Wait, I have no idea what you're saying.
Hello. What I'll do, Holly, I'm gonna come out. I'm gonna log out and come back in again. Give us 2 seconds, 2 minutes. Try again. I think that's you. Yeah, I think Holly's having a bit of problems at the minute, so I hope she comes back in. So just go through this quickly. John, just admit you're my agent. Don't think so. And then I got Dom again. Thing is, with these new age players, you've got to have the right coaches and managers around him. If they're not at Newcastle, you won't be. Dave said, because Holly's amazing, she's got her head screwed on. I think she's spot on 100%. It sounds like you're eating a bag of crisp. Well, I don't know. It seems my channel's been okay now, like, but I'm so frustrated. I'm on my way, mate. Cool. David Neres arrives as kind of sharky. He's a good player. I like him. And David Neres is an excellent talent, mate. He should be moved on for Ajax. Should be moved from Ajax. I think he's a top class player. I've got to see if I can get Holly back a second. See if I get Holly back on. Don't know what's going on here, man. Just try again. Invite. Oh, that sums it. I can hear you, John. Thanks so much for that, GMs, man. And I've got YouTube, StreamYard's having a nightmare. You're absolutely right. Last few days, it's just an absolute joke. It really is. If you're waiting for Holly, guys, she's going to be back in a minute or so because her phone has died. So that's not a good start, isn't it? So we give her a chance there. And John, I'm here, mate. And maybe Shark's in here can join if he's not on the stream. He's not on the stream. She's going to be back in a minute, mate. Her phone has died, so she's going to come back and get her phone charged up, and then she's straight back on me chat. Tom said, "Awful sounds like eating." Chris, Tom, her phone died, and maybe she's got the charger up. So I'll see if I'll see if I can get Dom on quickly, sort of thing, if you don't mind. She's just coming back. Holly's just coming back. There she is.
I'm back. Sorry, my phone literally died, but the audio's fine now, so that's good.
Oh, thank you very much for coming back on. She's back again. She's back. So yeah, I mean, Don wanted to come and be chat. He goes, "John, here, mate, and maybe Sharky can join if he's not on if she's not on the stream, but she's back now, sort of thing." So, and yeah, but I'm definitely going on this stream. He's going to come on my stream soon as well, sort of thing. Author sounds like eating bag of crisps. I thought the same, Tom.
Yeah.
And Jordan says, "Sounds like someone's squashing an empty plastic bottle." Well,
yeah, it was crazy. I don't know what was happening. I literally didn't know anything that you were saying. It was just like screeching and like crunchy. I don't know what it was.
I know. I'm sorry about that, man. I just thought now's your phone. I just think maybe it's my volume as well. Like, it's a bit too loud, and now it's just coming back on, sort of thing. Thank God for that. And Dave said, "How are you? You are amazing." I think he's referring to you, Holly.
Thanks for saying that. And yeah, I'm all good. So hope you're well.
Thank you very much. And you know what it is? At the end of the day, Holly's amazing, and she's welcome to come and chat at any time. And so there you go. Right. So I don't know if I think I asked you, how do you think you're going to do against Chelsea on Monday before? Do you think you're going to win on Monday?
I was just laughing at that comment. What did you say?
No, I was going to say, I'll read this out anyway. Keep our flavour crisp with extra garlic and chili sauce. I think it's going to be too much for us, but there you go. Holly, you're amazing. I'll be getting this out of sorted. It's fine. Okay. No, she's just saying, "Holly, you are amazing. I will be when I get my anxiety sorted." And Dom sent a link. I think, did he send a link to my chat? I hope.
What's his Twitter? I'll follow him now on my laptop.
Yeah, his Twitter account. If you type in Nufc Iceman.
Let's see. Oh, I found him. Yes, I'm already following him. So
you are, yeah, that's good news because Dom's a canny lad. You know what I mean? I can chat to him all day. I mean, he's a guy who's just calm, cool, collective, which is great. So, and I don't know if you sent a link to your phone. I don't know yet, but
I haven't got anything in my messages.
I'll show it. It will do. And then got Steve Booth special. That's Turn On the TV, of course. Tom said you should get Julian on the show. If you can speak English, I will do. Send me the link, John, in the chat. He wants to come on the show. He wants to come on. I think he wants to ask you a question.
I'll get him on then.
I think he's gonna ask you. He's gonna ask you a question. I think I don't know what about, but I get him on. This is supposed to be because reaction is over that man.
I know, yeah.
But it should have been. It should have been It should have been like a 40-minute gig. But it's not. If I can just get him on a setting sort of thing, and he's a good guy. He really is.
Yeah,
and
he's
also on my watch along as well, and he was actually amazing on my chat as well. So that's against Sheffield United, and we'll just go on to him now. A second, because I think he was asking you a question as well. Because I should be wrapped. There he is, sent him now. Sent, and he should be on his way now. And yeah, join me. Yes, me too, mate. I'll get him on. I'm gonna get him on for 5 minutes as well, and then after that, I've got to wrap it up because it's coming up to an hour and 40 minutes. So yeah, so I was going to say, so what are your plans tomorrow, Holly?
Tomorrow I'm on Newcastle Fans TV at 8 o'clock. But apart from that, not much. Don't have anything to do tomorrow.
Fair enough. That'd be interesting there. There's I'll be working tomorrow, so there's the guy and James. How are you doing?
Ignore the hair. I'm just on my phone at the minute, but yeah, I'm okay. How are you doing? You good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Not too bad. Just had a good day at work today, and just having a quiet one in a minute. How about you?
Yeah, you see, I've been trying to do my match preview for the game on Monday. It's going to be up tomorrow, so people are asking, like, where's your preview? You normally get them out on a Thursday and a Friday. I'm like, well, we don't play till Monday. It's a bit early.
I know, yeah. I mean, I thought it was on Monday 6 o'clock because ours 8 o'clock, so it's quite late. So it'll be a tough one, and it seems to be once each. I think it's gonna be tough for us as well, So
I honestly didn't feel them.
You think you could get something out of the game once each?
Well, if we play like we did against Southampton, let's be honest, if we can put away Everton, then if we try against Chelsea, who, let's be honest, like defensively, they're all over the place. Yes, they're good in the attack, but I think if we get it right, then why can't we not go to Stamford Bridge and go and get at least a point? Do you know what I mean? If we can win the game, it'd be a bonus, but you've just got to look at the fixtures that we've got left and just think that we can actually get something out of each and every game that we play. If we're changing the formation anyway. But yeah, I wouldn't go 4-3-3 against Chelsea personally. I would, the hair, dude. Honestly, I need a haircut. You see me, I'm over short hair. I honestly don't like my hair at the minute, but that's what happens with lockdown. But honestly, like, I wouldn't go 4-3-3 against Chelsea. You'd be too open.
I've thought about it till a couple of days now. I think you're right. It has to be a 4-2-3-1 and then just have two holders and then 3 across and one up front. It has to be 4-2-3-1 and have a go. Because we've got to attacking players to play that sort of formation. So hopefully, if we can get at them, I'll go for the.
I play Gale, me. I wouldn't play Joe Linton. I wouldn't play Carroll. I'd literally play Gale for pace. Well, we need pace.
Got to be Gale all the way.
Definitely.
All the way. I got Dom as well. How's Dom? You all right, mate?
All right, mate. Yeah, like Sharky just said, I've got lockdown here. Yeah. I don't know what to do with it. I've just left it.
Look at the state of it. Look, this is for YouTube. Look at the state of it, man. Honestly.
Wow.
It's all good fun, mate. We've got to, do something.
Yeah, Boris, what have you done?
Oh, no. Well, Ollie, how are you?
I'm good. Are you?
Yeah, not bad.
That's good.
How are you thinking about Newcastle at the minute? Steve Bruce and everything else that's going on. It's not good, is it?
No, it's quite a mess, obviously, with all the uncertainty. And then, obviously, none of us really want Bruce here. But we've got to focus on the positives that we've got a couple of wins. So hopefully we can get some more. And I'm feeling confident against Chelsea, like James said. I think we can at least get a point, hopefully 3.
By the way, if we get beat off like Chelsea and Man United, I'm not going to go mad about it because you've got to think of who you're playing.
Definitely, yeah.
I think we'll beat Wolves. And I think we've got West Brom after that. I honestly think we could do both of them. I really do.
Yeah, all we need is a few more wins, and then I think we're definitely safe.
Do you know what, though? I think it could be a record low to stay in the Premier League. Like, if you think of where Fulham and West Brom are, can you really see them getting anywhere near 25 points? I mean, I could be wrong. They might just do something like daft and go on a mad run, but you can't say, can you? They can't seem to win games.
Can't see it.
Sheffield United, for me, they've left it too late. Sorry, Holly.
Well, you look at the minute. I mean, I put a tweet earlier. I put it out on the chat. I think we've only taken some like 19 points from a possible 75. You know, at the bridge. You know that's mental, really, if you think about it. I mean, 19 points out of 75.
Shocking.
Holly was going to say something, weren't you, Holly?
I can't even remember what I was saying now. So it's
Sorry, Holly.
Yeah.
No, but like I say, if we don't get anything from Chelsea and Man United, it's not the end of the world. We'll beat Wolves and West Brom. I'm confident of that. If we can't beat Wolves and West Brom on top of losing to Chelsea and Man United, there's definitely something the matter.
Yeah, I think it'll get the bottom three now. That'll go down. I think we'll definitely be okay. Like you said, it probably will be a record low amount of points to stay up.
I don't think there's much between Newcastle, Brighton and Burnley. I think we're very identical the way we play. And that's why we're very bunched together in the points.
Yeah, close. As long as we don't slip into the bottom three, then I won't complain. Because as long as we stay up this season, because it's been a massive worry, then I'll be happy and hopefully we can progress on to better things next season.
I think we will. Like we need the takeover to happen, I think. But if it doesn't happen, then it'll just be another season of Bruce. But I'll still go back, like, and get behind the lads. At the end of the day, they need the support.
Definitely. And I miss going, mate.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, go on.
Yeah, sorry, mate. The things at the minute, I mean, you got to look at other factors in this whole season. It's, you know, you've got no fans in the grounds. You've got, you know, the worries of COVID and everything else. So it's a strange season at the moment, and I don't think it actually reflects the results around the grounds, kind of thing. So, you know, we've got, what is it, 20 points?
25
points. So it's if we weren't in this whole pandemic, I do believe we would have gone down with Steve Bruce eventually. But what we can see is you've not got the top teams performing that to their ability at the moment. I mean, you look at Man City as well. It's a strange one for them as well. You know, they've only just started to perk up.
Well, that's it. Anyone could beat anyone. Like I was saying this morning, because I've started some like morning walk thing, and I'm doing it for YouTube as well. We've dropped 30 points this season, though. Like we shouldn't be on 25 points. We should actually be on a lot more. You know, if we weren't so crap against Brighton, and then we weren't so bad against Fulham and Crystal Palace, these dodgy points that we've dropped, we wouldn't be in this mess. They wouldn't be talking 10 points clear of relegation. We'd be on like 34 points or something. We'd be looking all right.
Yeah.
I know we're 15th at the minute, and we're 10 points clear. But
I think we're okay. You know. I think we're fine.
I think we'd be fine. Another 4 more wins, maybe, to be enough. 4 more wins, Sadie.
Do you know what? I was saying to a few mates the other day, probably a win. I wouldn't be surprised if we still on 28. I've got no confidence in the other three.
Nah,
if I'm a Fulham, West Brom, or Sheffield United fan, I wouldn't be like overly excited about my side, like winning the game. Do you know what I mean? Like I'll just be like, oh well, same old.
Yeah, I think the bottom three are the ones that will go down. To honest with you, I mean, Fulham actually give a good game, but they ultimately lose. With Sheffield United and the rest. I think we're safe at the moment. Well, things can change very, very drastically, unfortunately. But I do think, you know, with them three at the bottom at the moment, I think we're safe.
I agree.
I agree.
Well, you look at like Burnley and Brighton as well. I think they've done enough as well. I look at the three clubs, like I say, we're bunched together. I don't think we're really. I think we're just better by a little bit than the bottom three. Like there's not much in it, but I just think we're I looked at the three clubs, the two clubs that come up, and I'm thinking, like Leeds, yeah, they'll be fine, but Sheffield United, will struggle, and then I put the Fulham and West Brom in the bottom. Look where they are. They're at the bottom.
Yeah.
I know. Well, thing with Fulham, they're not winning enough games. They get a lot of draws, but they just not turn. They need to turn their draws into wins.
Tell you what, I do rate Scott Parker as a manager. By the way, I said it. I'd take him if he came available.
Yeah. He played good football as well. He played 4-2-3-1, and he played decent stuff. And would you come back to Newcastle? He probably would.
In some capacity, it's just like anything though. They're not going to work under him.
This is the thing. We said as Holly, didn't we, earlier on? He's going to come to Newcastle.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like, the club didn't want Bruce. Like, it was like a 20th choice or something stupid like that. But it's like nobody wants the job because there's nothing to like work towards apart from staying in the division. And any manager that has any type of ambition won't want to do that.
Yeah, like I was just about to back up my point on Rafa Benitez as well. I would take him back if he was offered, but my sort of thinking is like it doesn't always work out for managers. Second time round, it always goes badly wrong, and I don't want like Rafa's relationship to be tarnished with the fans. I wouldn't want that. Yes, of course, you want him to come in and work his magic, but let's be realistic though. Is he going to come back like the way he is now? Like I can't say it. Like the thing is as well, like Mike Ashley trying to sell the club as well. There's a pandemic, affecting him from selling the club. I don't know. Like we don't know what's going on. We're all in limbo, aren't we? We're just hoping for something to happen, but
Crazy.
Like we don't even know what's going on. Go on, Holly.
No one doesn't. Go on, Cal.
He wouldn't come back under Mike Ashley, I don't think. Under any circumstance, no matter how much he wanted a job, he wouldn't, or to come back to Newcastle, he wouldn't come back under Mike Ashley. But I think with obviously good financial backing under a new owner, I think he would do a great job and finish off the job that he started. But yeah, I agree with you that you wouldn't want to ruin what he had the first time by him coming back now, because there's a high chance that could happen. But under new owners, hopefully it'd be a different story. That's
what I'm saying. Like he walked away originally, though, didn't he? He wasn't happy with the policy and stuff, and you don't blame him if you're bringing in Joe Linton. I mean, come on. That's why he left. That's why he left.
Yeah, the thing is that I agree with everything what everyone's saying. But if we did get rid of Bruce, there wouldn't be many managers that want to come in and say, I could do any better, because
we've already got one.
Under Ashley, you're not going to get back, and you're not going to get any support at all, and you're destined to fail, and that's the problem at the moment. It's Ashley's say on the whole thing, and I mean, Bruce isn't the manager that anyone would want. Totally honest with you, but even if Benitez come back, he agreed to come back, he would do better. But ultimately, he would still finish in the bottom half of the table, because Ashley will not, give any backing at all.
We're mid-table club, aren't we? That's what we are under Mike Ashley, just mid-table club. And if we do anything, better than what we did in Alan Pardew, then I think we've obviously exceeded expectations. We know as a fan base we could do better, but that's what we are under Mike Ashley, just a mid-table club, and that's what he wants. As long as we stay in the Premier League and he's getting the money every season, that's what he cares about. Do you know what I mean? It's obviously about the spreadsheets. The numbers add up at the end of the season, and that's what he's there for. But until he leaves, that's the way we're going to be. Oh, by the way, talking of a manager, we've already got one. The one who's actually like assistant, the one who's actually doing the job.
Yeah,
great.
Do you know what? At first, though, like everyone after the Everton game was saying it was a Graham Jones effect. I was like, nah, it's one game. But then the more I seen it, like when I looked at the Crystal Palace game, then I looked at the last game. But do you know what? He's actually doing something. Like Bruce is just standing there, like, what do I do? Like Graham Jones is literally barking out instructions, and it's actually working. If not, but like, can you understand why I was like a bit skeptic at first? Can you understand why I was a bit skeptical at first after the Everton game? You understand why though? Because I thought actually he's just come in, like he's not like doing much, is he? He's just barking out a few instructions, but you can see like he's changed a few things, like the formation. Like Bruce is putting that upon himself. He didn't change it. Like Graham Jones changed it, and then we're getting results. Do you know what I mean? Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he takes over. Graham Jones, honestly, he'll take over.
Will that be before the end of the season, or before the end of the season, or will it be in the new?
Now.
No, I wouldn't be surprised.
No.
I mean, the fact is, Steve Bruce, right? I mean, he's getting abuse on online social media, sort of thing.
That's wrong.
So that is wrong, right? And I think it was Ryan Taylor. Someone sent us a tweet today about Ryan Taylor's come up and said that he should be walking away now because it's not good for his health, blah, 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 right? And I think he should walk for, do you think he should walk for that?
He'll not, if Steve Bruce is too stubborn though, he'll not walk away. He's been asked this question before and he's like, I'll not walk away from the challenge. The thing is, he's got his dream club. If it had been any other club where he's not like from the area, then he probably would have walked away. But because it's Newcastle, and plus if you're on the money that he's on a week, he's not going to walk away from that, is he? He wouldn't be daft enough to resign.
Nah, and actually won't sack him anyway.
That's what he's waiting for. He's waiting to be sacked, so he gets the big massive payoff. That's what he's after. Or he'll just see it out until, is it next summer when he leaves? That's it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So
that's what he'll do.
We got another season of Bruce.
Well, that's it. Another season of Steve Bruce. If this doesn't go through in the summer, it's one more season. Well, that's if he gets the season. That's if he lasts.
Well, I've always said, James, he should have gone after the end of the season. Should have gone.
I didn't want him to start with.
No, I wanted him out before my head was headed.
Do you know what though? I've not been to one home game since he's been the manager. I've been to 2 away games.
I haven't.
Not one. And that pain, I boycotted that season because of what happened to Rafa. But I was going to, go back regardless this season. But with the whole pandemic, you can't. But do you know what? Boycotting last season probably wasn't a bad idea because the football was drossing just like it has been this season, dross.
Same here. And I'll go further than that as well, right? I mean, I cannot back a manager who I don't believe in. I do not back this manager.
But the thing is, why do you change the formations every week? 1 week he's playing 4-3-3, then he's playing 4-2-3-1, then he's going 5 at the back, then he's playing a different formation, then he's playing 6 at the back, then 7 or 8 at the back. Like, what are you trying to do? Like, do you know what I mean? Is he just trying to ruin or something?
I think he's trying to get a sack. I think he's doing it.
I didn't get him. Honestly, and then he comes out with some crap in the media like, oh, well, I'm trying. You're not trying. You're ruining. Well, that's what you're doing.
I know. Yeah. He says it every week. I mean, Holly said earlier on, she doesn't watch the press conferences anymore because it's all the same thing over and over again. I have to watch it. I have to do it.
I do, just so I know what you're saying. Like, well, so I get an idea of my preview. I have to.
I have to as well.
I started watching them like when I've been coming on here and stuff like that, but before then I didn't like watch them because just constant repeat of the same rubbish, so I don't see the point in watching them. Like I used to watch them every week when Rafa was here and stuff like that, but Bruce is just, I don't see the point.
He used to love defeating the media. Him like Rafa, it was so funny.
He was absolutely class in. He's not that daft. I mean, I'll read this one from Lee Foster. Welcome, Lee. Believe it or not, I led to believe that Arteta signed off the Joelinton deal. Then Arteta couldn't agree terms himself after 3 days spent at Charlie's house. I don't believe that.
Yeah, whatever.
Talking about he's received some threats as well. Did you see that on Sky Sports popped up? Shocking.
I did.
Shocking.
He's not using it anymore. He's just watching it on Twitter, sort of thing. I cannot blame him.
See, I'm not massive on Twitter, and I'm more for like. But if you see me, my content's mainly on YouTube and that. But that Twitter now is getting more and more toxic each and every day. Like the thing is, people are now taking advantage of the not being much to do. Like you can't go to the cinemas, you can't do this, you can't do that. So they're trying to bully people who actually do social media anyway when you can't do your free time. They're just like trying to get something out with someone to try and put someone else's down because they're already down. Do you know what I mean? So like if you can't go on the piss on a weekend, but actually what we'll do is we'll go and annoy someone on like YouTube who does like live streams and that, we'll just troll them. So because I'm miserable, I will make you miserable. I don't get it.
I don't get it as well. I mean, what I'll do now, if they upset Jennifer a lot, I'll just block them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, good idea.
But it's a way to go forward.
Honestly, sorry, John. It is upsetting that we're such a close-knit fan base and we're so close to each other. We've been through thick and thin. In my time, I remember the 80s football as well. And things were bouncing, we had our lows, we had our highs. And eventually we reached the promised land and almost took the title. So, we've become quite a close-knit family because it's we're the only club in Newcastle. We always will be the only club in Newcastle. So, that is the focal point. But it upsets me when you see, the sniping at different people on Twitter or on Facebook. It's disgusting, and it really is. And it needs to stop before it becomes too toxic that no one will go ever to the ground because no one ever want to see you.
Oh, do you know what? It wouldn't stop me from going anywhere, but I just think the way some people go on, like if you've got nothing good to say, don't say it at all. You know what I mean? You just put people's lives at risk and at danger. But it's just, I've seen people's true colours in the pandemic, and you see how toxic now that Twitter's getting. It's not just on that; it's happening all over now, like Facebook and you name it. It's just something needs to be done, and we all say something needs to be done, but the social media platforms, they need to sort themselves out big time.
I mean, you look at the football. Was it the Football United who had the racist comments from that? I think it was the football. It was either the Football United or someone like that, and no one did a thing. And that's the problem. Someone should speak up and say that's wrong. Go away, because there's no race. There's no room for racism. There's no room for anything. And what goes on social media is absolutely disgusting.
Well, this is it. Like, it's happening with footballers. Go on, Holly.
Yeah,
I mean, sorry, Holly. I mean, you look at you lasses. I mean, you get, probably worse than what us guys get, and you probably would agree with me there. You probably get worse than what us guys get, and it needs to stop. And I really feel for you lasses, honestly.
Well, for me personally, I must say that I haven't really had much hate, and the hate that I have had has been off opposition fans. I've never actually had anything from other Newcastle fans, so I'm quite lucky that that hasn't happened to me. But obviously, it's awful that it does happen to other people and stuff. But that's the problem, is people are allowed to just get away with it scot-free and nothing happens. They need to be bringing in some type of punishment and stuff like that, because if people can get away with it, then they'll do it.
To be fair, I had a few trolls last week, but it was nothing personal. I don't even think they were Newcastle fans, if I'm honest. But I've been all right, when it comes to YouTube, because I don't let the comments get out there. If something gets said, I just delete it, block it, off you go. Do you know what I mean? That's it. They don't come back unless they create about 15 billion accounts, and they're just getting more blocks. It's quite simple, really.
Yeah, that's what I do.
I heard today on saying that Twitter should be banned. That's never going to happen. It's too powerful. It's too powerful.
Same with Facebook, YouTube, and all these other big social media platforms. It won't happen. No chance.
Never. Too powerful, man. Too powerful.
I just think when it comes to Twitter and stuff, they've got to take your address. They've got to take your number, and it's got to actually match. And if it doesn't match, you shouldn't have Twitter. That's the way I look at it. So I think that's the way you catch people. That's what's going to happen now. I know it's private deals and stuff, but at the end of the day, you're signing up to something. You're putting yourself in danger anyway, because you're talking to other people. But you should be able to give those sort of details. You have to, because that's the only way you're going to identify these people. It's not just like that. It could be fraud. It could be literally anything. Do you know what I mean?
I do agree, man. But it's not gonna. I was gonna say it's here to stay forever.
Oh, yeah.
It's too big and powerful. It's too much money as well. But what I will say, they've got to do something about it ASAP. This is the time now. Look at the footballers being racial abuse, like Rashford and a few players like that. You know what I mean?
Guy from Swansea.
Yeah, no, Swansea. There's another one as well. Was it Martial got abused as well? I think he did. Yeah, he was.
I can't remember who it was, but it was definitely Man United.
It was Rashford as well.
Rashford.
It's just shocking.
Shocking. I've got one from Ryan. He's my guy from Canada. I hope you're okay. And he likes League One as well, by the way, I must admit. But I'll read it out. Real fans can't interact with players on social media because they're disabled or limit comments. This is all because pathetic CUNTS are abusive and or risk towards the players.
All right, I must answer to Ryan, because he did ask why I wasn't doing my Friday live stream. Just circumstances. Some Fridays I get really busy and I can't not say anything. It would be very unfair. There's just to walk away and say nothing.
Yeah,
fair enough, man. We're all gonna miss you, man. We're gonna miss you, and hope we.
Oh no, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving YouTube. I'm just not doing the Friday streams. I'm still doing me copy content.
Oh yeah. I'll get you what you mean, but the Fridays you can't do. You've got other things to do. So.
Oh right, yeah. I didn't think I was such a miss.
Yeah. We can't let you go. There's no way. No. Honestly, I'm leaving YouTube. And they're like, no, you're not. You're staying. Just crack on with it, man. You're good. Don't put yourself down.
Please do.
No, I will. No, I will, because No, I will. You know what? It's just hard work, and you have to graft. It's hard work. But when you see the support and stuff, you wouldn't. You think like we've got such a good fan base, everyone's like together and stuff. You know, it's easy like to feel disconnected, but you feel all right. Like I feel good now, so just gonna crack on with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like I was going to say to you there, Sharky, please don't, because
No, I'll stay.
We only let others win in that
No,
war.
no.
Just please keep going on, and please.
Do you know what though?
Okay.
When I done the channel, it really, like Collie will probably know. I do the away days. I used to do like the vlogs and stuff. I used to love doing like going to the games and that, and just vlogging it. That was just my like sort of day out and stuff, and people used to really enjoy it. Like it was just basically for my own work, but then people used to comment and say, "Oh, great match day experience." When you're doing the next one, I used to go to the next game, and I used to do the away days. But that's what the channel. That's what I sort of enjoyed for YouTube. But interacting with the fans as well. It was good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing of it, isn't it? That's the be all and end all in it. It's just interacting.
But like I've met you guys like in the pandemic. Obviously, I think I've like seen you Holly once. Did you on an away day before the pandemic?
Yeah, I was at West Ham on Lindsay's bus. On the same
yeah. I think I've seen you a couple of times on the away days. So I know you from that. You would have seen us about anyway. But in terms of like the pandemic, at least we're all like talking now. I think it's been great.
Yeah.
I've been doing this a couple of months now. Back at the beginning of December time, because I've done it for a couple of months last year, but I had to stop it. And because I've been in hospital for 5 years, and I came back, I thought I'm going to make it. I thought, stop this. I'm going to try it again. Got 406 people following us on this.
You'll have a K in no time.
Say again?
You'll have a K in no time.
Yes, definitely. Then all the super chats. Did you do super chats as well, though, Sharky? Did you do super chats as well?
I did super chats once, but I'm not really like for about money and that. I just go live and see what happens. You know what I mean? I'm not bothered.
Fair enough. I'm getting a lot of people tell us and say, John, you should do it a lot of super chats so I get a full some people, which will be great. But
yeah, I don't like for me. I don't want any money off anyone. I just do it for the love of the club, basically.
Yeah, same here, man. Same here. Because I just enjoy doing this, for
like as long as people enjoy what I do, that puts a smile on my face. If people like it, great. If they don't, then it's fine. Do you know what I mean? It's not the end of the world.
That's the thing. At the end of the day, right? You're well liked on this chat. You're well liked here, and they love what you're doing. I like what you're doing as well. I think you're amazing. You know.
Yeah, and there's a few things I've got to improve on. There's loads. You're always learning, but I can't wait. Like I say, to get back to stadiums and stuff, and then improve the content from there. But at the minute, you're limited because you can't do the stuff you want to do. Even not just going to the stadiums, you can't even go to shops. You can't even buy the stuff you want. It's crazy times.
Crazy, man. Because I'm doing a lot of content now. I'm going to start doing for fans forum on the overseas as well. Starting doing that every Thursday now. If I can get the people to come on.
I'm saying though, John. I used to love going going for a pint. You can't even do that now.
No.
I know. It's just fun, it'd be better going for a pint.
It really puts you down. Oh, Sharky, do you remember when we used to go for a drink? We used to talk about the football and stuff. Well, you can't even do that now.
It's ridiculous, man.
You can't.
It's sad, man. It's sad. We need to get those back when the pandemic
I tell you what, guys, right? Once we're back to normal, and I can get my backside up north because I live in Derby, so it's difficult. So once we're all back to normal, I will go to a pub and I will buy all 4 of you a pint.
Oh, hey, you don't have to. Don't worry, man. I'll just have you turn up.
Because I would love to get together with the 4 of you, to be honest with you.
Well, we said this with Paul as well for the Toon Review.
Yeah.
Said we'll all just meet up. All the way? I think it's great. It brings everyone together. Because we're all fans at the end of the day. We all want the one thing, which is to get behind the team and to win something, So,
that's one of the positives to come out of this lockdown. Obviously, for me anyway, because I've literally just started coming down to YouTube this month, and it's went a bit mental on that, but it's been really, really good. Just meeting new people and Newcastle fans and getting new opportunities, and it's really, really good. Because if we hadn't been in this lockdown, I would never have come on. So that's the only positive for me.
Well, I've seen that myself. A lot of new people coming onto the scene. I think it's great. Me, obviously. Seeing you on and seeing Paul back on YouTube, it's great. It's just you see the same old faces, which is good. but you want to like expand it. You want to see more fans come onto social media and talk about the club and stuff.
Right. I've got Andrew here. Great show tonight, John, Holly, and Sharky and Iceman. Thanks so much indeed. And Ryan said when things are back to normal, I'm taking a flight from Montreal to Glasgow, then drive to Newcastle for the home game.
Do you know the amount of times I've had? Are you that vlogger off YouTube? Are you this? I'm glad it'll not just be me when I get back.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Was that you that was having a little rant about the game? I was like, it probably was, to be fair. Honestly, I was walking through town there a couple of weeks back, and they're like, was that you having a little rant about Steve Bruce on Sheffield United? It probably was, to be fair.
It was me, wasn't it? Oh,
no, they're like, Sharky, were you ranting about Steve Bruce? I was like, yeah, I probably did.
Yeah, you did, I'd have a go as well, like, you know. It's me.
By the way, I don't like to like rage on YouTube. I don't. I just want to see the team play well. That's what I want. I don't want to see the mess that we're in. Like, you know, I don't mind being like an Everton supporter where like you win a couple of games and you lose one, then you go back to winning ways. Not like lose about 11 games or something, you know what I mean, and not do anything. I want to see the lads like show like they're actually doing something.
I know. The fact is, I want to see the team do well. I don't shout on it, like, you know what I mean? I
didn't want to.
I don't. But if you're not playing well, it has to be said. You got to tell how like it is. I mean, you get some people on social media saying, back the team, back the team, back the team. We do back the team. But the problem is, like, some of them aren't good enough. I mean, your guy, Jordan, ain't good enough, yeah? Emily, I'm going to call him Emily Crap, I'm going to call him. You'd be better calling Emily. You know what I mean? The Emma Crap is poor.
Are you kind of dissing me? Didn't play that bad against Southampton. You know, he's can't play well against Chelsea on Monday.
I just don't rate him.
Oh, no, I don't, but he didn't play that bad.
Nah. For me, if I was doing the half season, I'll do the half season player ratings tomorrow. Like, you know, tomorrow, about 3 o'clock come tomorrow afternoon, yeah? I mean, I've got to do all my player ratings, half term so far. And I'll tell you what, Kraft will not get that much.
What's Bruce getting? Does he get written?
I'll tell you tomorrow. I'll see it tomorrow. But
I don't think he get a rating for me, to be honest. Given the money he spent, you wouldn't get a rating for me. Given the money he spent,
I'd give him a 0.
You won't get one.
0. Yeah.
Probably wouldn't get that. You'd probably be in the minuses.
Yeah, I should do, really, should I? I mean, there's a couple of them delivered, sort of thing, but most of them aren't being.
That's what, you know what? That's why, right? And I don't like to rage, right? And I used to be calm. I like to think I am still calm, but in recent weeks, no. It's because the manager, he just talks out his backside, and we don't have a connection with him. Whereas Rafa, we had some sort of connection. Like, if he said something, we kind of understood like where he was coming from. Like, he had a plan in action. Whereas Bruce is like, oh well, yeah, you know, we'll just throw about 4 forwards on and see what happens.
Thing is with Rafa, we hung on every single word he said. We were captivated by Rafa, honestly.
I think I only had a couple of moments where I actually went against. Well, I wouldn't say go against him, where I was like, "Oh, you got that wrong." But it was barely any time I said, "You know, you were this, that, and the other." It was just basically like, yeah, like as you said, you could trust what he was saying because he had a plan in action. You know what I mean? You got to have a game plan. Steve Bruce is like, "Oh, I'll just hide 4 forwards on and see what happens." Can't do that, man. I think at one point I had like Ryan Fraser playing it right back.
You have to have a plan. You have to have a plan and let the players know what the jobs is. You know what I mean? You don't just, it's like Jack Grealish go out and say, I think it's Jack Grealish or someone else must have said he told the players, go out there and just kick about.
I just don't like the dinosaur tactics of this whole like 5 at the back system. I don't like it. I don't. I'm not want to play 5 at the back against anyone. Even like, you know, against Chelsea, I'll just go 4-2-3-1, play it safe against anyone. Literally give yourself a chance to not be too open, but go for it. No, I mean, I mean, if we go 4-3-3 diamond against Chelsea, right? He's brave. That's what I will say. But I wouldn't go 4-3-3 unless you want to hammer in. Then fair play. But Dwight Gale's got to be on his game.
He has to be on his game. Yeah, he has to start, let alone be on his game. And if Joel didn't play us on Monday, then
he will play tomorrow. He'll play, but he'll play like some part. And I hope he doesn't start. Didn't start him.
Done. He's done. He was done from the. I'm going to be honest. He was done from game 1. Last season, he was done.
But he's number 9, isn't he? Apparently.
Well, according to Steve Bruce, but I'll tell you something, right? I mean, I'm going to say this now, guys, right? I think Joe Linton is disrespect and insulted players like Malcolm McDonald, Alan Shearer, Andy Cole, guys. all these, let's Ferdinand, all these famous number 9 players, you know what? They must be absolutely seething for that guy to wear a number 9 shirt now. How it?
Nah, Joe Linton just doesn't cut it for me. Unfortunately, we've tried playing him out on the left-hand side, and he still can't do it. So, what next for him? I said it the other day, and I don't know whose channel I was on. I said, drop him into the Championship, give him an experience down there, like a loan deal or something. Let them bang in some goals in there. If he can't score more than 15 goals in the Championship, then there you go. That's his level. That's something he's got to try to be in that level. Do you know what I mean? So, I don't know. Like, it's not me being impatient. For me, it's not even about the price tag. I just didn't think he's a very good footballer at this level.
Do you know what it is? So I've said it from day one. He's not a footballer. He's a waste of shirt. I don't get the hype of this guy. I just do not know. I don't get it. I just don't feel him. I just don't feel the guy. Do you know
to be honest, there could be a massive player out the summer.
Yes, I totally agree.
Like
it's going to be a huge one because But I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something, man. I'll tell you something now, right? I mean, who's going to come in though? Who's going to come to Newcastle unless they want a 5-6 year deal on 50-60 grand a week?
Andrew would be starstruck if he see me in the town. I'm no different off camera than I am on camera. I'd like to think I'm fine. I'm approachable.
Yeah,
to be fair, I've had a few people say to me like, "Oh, I'd love to get to meet you," as if I'm some sort of celebrity. I'm just a YouTuber, a fan, just like everyone else. I'm just on a camera. That's it.
Sharky's hit the bright lights of Hollywood now.
Honestly, right? Honestly, right? If you met me in real life, I wouldn't be any different to who I am on camera. Like, I'm an approachable guy. You know what I mean? Like, you could talk to me for hours about football.
Wow.
You might want to run away after about half an hour. I might bore you to death, but hey, there we go. We're football fans.
Yeah.
But honestly, if anyone's seen me, like I've seen a few people on away days and the watchers on YouTube, like, oh, you're such a nice guy, and that the nice compliments, but hey, I just get on with it. You know, I make videos, chat about the tune, talk to other people. That's it. That's me.
Totally. I'm not starstruck really. I'm not fussed really. At the end of the day, but I went on the bus heading back to Ashton, right? Because I always see some not far from there. And there's this lass. She must be about 20, 21, 22 maybe. And she goes, "Oh, you're a favourite Newcastle player?" I said, "I wish I was." And then
you won't be on YouTube.
And then I said to her, she asked the suit, right? She's 22. Last I was 46, 47 at the time. I said, "Look, I'm too old for years, right? It ain't gonna happen, right? I just can't do it. There's no way."
Hey, John, check you out. Check you out.
Yeah,
dates about that.
Whoa!
You should have signed your name and then left.
But like I say, with the whole like YouTube scene, like I wouldn't be any different. Like, because I know people would change. Like, they think, oh, YouTubers are different off the camera. I don't think they are really. We're just people who just talk to a camera. Some people don't talk to a camera, which is fine. But like I say, I'd like to think I'm approachable.
Yeah, I mean, there's not wrong with that. At the end of the day, I mean, people are people, you know, you can chat to them. I mean,
do you know what, though? When I was at the ground, I used to bump into all sorts of, like, fans that used to watch my channel. Like, I used to get hello. It's fine. I'm used to it. Do you know what I mean?
I know. I'd love to feel like one day in the stadium. I would really love to do that, man. But how would you do it, though? That's the thing.
Didn't you say you wouldn't go back until Mike actually leaves? I'll just go back, to be honest. There's no guarantee he's going to leave. There's no guarantee. Not yet, anyway. It's not clear, though, is it?
Well, at the end of the day, when you look at it now, we'll look back on it now. I may as well, because at the end of the day, I could do me lives as well, sort of thing. You know what I mean? Just do me lives and.
I think Holly said on what did you say yesterday? I think you said you'd do anything to go watch a 0-0 draw against Burnley or Norwich or something. I would. I literally would. I'll go back to go. I would literally go and watch 5 at the back for a 0-0 draw against Burnley or Norwich, just to go and get back in the stadium, just to witness it all over again.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe it's 5 at the back, stretching it against Norwich or against Norwich or Burnley. But you know, I'm talking about anything just to get in.
It's getting back to normality and getting back to the ground and enjoying the crap with your mates and the crap with, a few beers before the game and beers after. It's about getting back into that environment again. Yeah, I totally.
You know what though? Since I've done YouTube, I feel like I'm more connected with the fan base. I mean, I always go to the games regardless, but I feel like I'm getting to know a lot more people, and I think it's great. Like, it means you're never alone, really. Like, if you go to a game, like, you just see people.
Yeah. I think it's different. I think it's fun. I think it's great to connect to the fans, and you got Holly came on me chat. I was the first channel I came on to, and she was blessed. Hey
John, we've done away days. If you get on Pixie's bus, honestly, it's good times, man. Good times.
We
I
did
mean,
as I.
that lad who was sick on the bus at I went to Huddersfield away, and I remember the lad who was sick on the bus, and he was literally lying in front of the floor. He was like, "What on earth are you doing?" Good times.
Oh wow!
No, he'd done up on the bus.
Oh wow! I'll tell you what, though, you get that sort of thing. I think that's brilliant. It's nice to get fans to use, and it's fun, and I think it's brilliant. I think it's a bit of doing this. I mean, I've been to away as well. I've been to like quite a few back in my time, but obviously work commitment sort of thing is tough.
Oh, the worst Steve Bruce away day was Leicester when we got beat 5-0. Oh, no.
You know what though? It was horrendous, like what we saw on the pitch, but I thought it was an alright day. Like it was good crack. Like it was just mental. We were singing right to the last minute.
Oh, it was. But if you look back at my YouTube video, I was so pissed off. Like it's just you travel all that far, and you're like, I think I remember it was absolutely peanut down arena as well. And we just got in. Was it 15 minutes before kick off? Then all of a sudden it was a Leicester onslaught from minute get-go, literally onslaught.
Wow.
Honestly, I was past the point to take it seriously anymore. I was just like going along with it. I wasn't even annoyed in the end. I just thought, good day out. So I'm not
honestly, it literally caught up on the internet. Like I literally done a match day vlog and I was fuming. Like I was livid. So I just thought, nah, sorry. Like, but I was enjoying it. I loved the singing. That was the best part of it. But it was like, they were like goal scorer for Leicester, Jamie Vardy. I'm like, yeah, right. Get me out of here.
You should have got sacked for that game.
Oh, by the way, I got the best birthday present though when we beat West Ham 3-2. But we nearly bottled that one, you know. We nearly bottled it. Nearly.
Oh, I wasn't even facing the pitch in the last, like at the end of the game. I literally turned around because I was like, I can't see this. If we like get a point here, I'm going to be fuming. I couldn't even watch.
I love away days. I was even in the Championship days. I was going to like Wigan away. I was going to Ipswich, Sheffield Wednesday. They were all good times, you know. Good times. Oh, well, actually, Ipswich on a Monday afternoon, I wouldn't recommend it. It's literally windy roads for about 2 hours, and if you lose, not great.
Not great. Never done Ipswich. I've never been away to Ipswich, mate. Never done it.
But honestly, John, get yourself up to the 2, man, when we get back to games.
I will do.
And the same nights, man, as well. Get yourself up. First game of the season. Hopefully we're not doing Bonzi away in the Championship. If we can stay in this league, we'll be alright.
We're staying in this league.
Different rule. I mean, I think we're going to stay up, but just didn't rule anything out. You know, especially with this bloody board.
I know.
I mean, we were talking about memories there. You know, the best memory I have from going to watch Newcastle. It was going to Middlesbrough at Ayresome Park. We all caught a bus into Middlesbrough, and it kind of goes past the hill into Middlesbrough, and we had all these Middlesbrough fans just pelting the bus with rocks, bricks, the lot, and we were all just cowering under the seats and everything else.
Are you sure you didn't go? Are you sure you didn't go to Millwall with? So you get at Millwall?
Honestly, it was just bricks and all sorts of fuck, mate.
Bricks.
Just pelting the bus. It was no.
Well,
I was only about 6 at the time as well.
When we were at West Ham last season, that was dodgy because, like, can you remember all them people with knives and that?
Right.
Do you know what? We got off the bus, and I don't think I actually bumped into a West Ham fan. We did like a vlog together for his channel. He's a nice lad, you know, kind of. I had never had any problems with the West Ham fans. Like I know there was talk about the knives and stuff like that, but I don't think I'd ever come in any encounters with any like poor West Ham fans. We were just laughing at them actually when they started leaving, when we were absolutely hammering them. We're like, goodbye, see you later.
Wait,
that was back in 2005 when we won 4-2, and Michael Owen scored twice, and as I said, back in the better sort of thing, but we won by 4-2, and I caught out of a bus from Newcastle all the way down to London, and I thought that's the longest trip I've ever done for a long, long time. And when I got on the coach, one of the West Ham fans come up to us and say, "How did you do it, man? We battered you." Well, they did batter us in second half, man. We didn't take the chances, and I thought, well, I scored a goal. And you know what? It was a long way. I was absolutely shattered that day after the match, so I just started straight to sleep in the coach. And then I got up, we was up in Newcastle, and then the ex picked us up. I was going to get a club in that deal. I thought, nah, stop it. Bother. No way.
Do you know what, though? And I was telling you about the Ipswich game. And that honestly was a Monday afternoon. I remember we got beat 3-1. And then it was like, Brighton have won a promotion to the Premier League. Like, they hadn't quite won the title. We obviously beat them to the title on the last day. we hadn't been confirmed as like promotion, like even to even be promoted. Like Brighton had obviously secured it, and that was literally the longest drive ever. Like on the way back from 5 o'clock, we didn't get back. Like was it 12 or something like that? Just after 12, and I had work at 6 o'clock the next day, and I was absolutely livid that day. Oh man, honestly, that's the way it is for you.
Shock. Long way.
I was like Brighton of all clubs. They're the first club to get promoted in Newcastle. Spent all that money yet when I'm promoted. What we're doing? Mick McCarthy's Ipswich. Mick McCarthy.
Crazy. Yeah.
Couldn't believe it. The only good thing about that day, right, was the Bobby Robson bit at the very start, like celebrating. You know what I mean? Apart from that, the match itself was dull.
Yeah,
shocking.
That's the thing with away days. I feel like you either go and you have a mint day, or you go and you have a horrendous day. Like there's never any in between for me. Some days I'll have a mint day, and then other days I'm like, why did I come here?
Do you know what though? When you look back at it now, when my expectations on like high and away days, like supporting Newcastle, are like, I just want to go regardless. Like, you know, if we're not expected to win, like, you know, unless we're in like a championship, if we're in like the Premier League, I think for us any game's a bonus. I would say, like obviously Sheffield United, they'll sort of say, yeah, you should beat, but any like side above that, I think even if we didn't win, like as long as you enjoy your day, that's the way I say. Even if we get bad, like it's just good to tick off a ground. I'd say.
Wait, that's the same one, I think, but it's like sometimes you go, like I did Villa last season, which I think was on a Monday. We got there, we were stuck in traffic the whole way down. We got there, it was literally kick-off, so we missed like the first few minutes. The game was horrendous, it was absolutely dead, and then we went back and I had like to go out in the morning, get early.
Yes.
Like, why did I do this?
Yes, I had work that afternoon. I got offered tickets for that game, and I couldn't go, and just as well I didn't. I ended up going to oh man, what's a place called the Haymarket now? I'm trying to think what Junction. Ended up watching it in there after work. Literally got the metro back and a few mates, and I thought just as well I didn't go to Villa Park because that was absolutely disgusting. We got absolutely hammered on Villa. Could have been more.
And the whole day was dead as well. Like even the crack, like there was no singing hardly an hour end or anything. It was just boring as anything. So you dodged a bullet there. Like I wish I didn't go.
There's a few games I got offered to go, and I just, you know, you refuse them because sometimes you got to go to work and you look back and you think, actually, just as well. The one game actually I wanted to go to and I got tickets for it and I had work was, do you remember when I Burton in the Championship? You know, everyone wanted to go down away from home. It was such a tiny ground. I got invited to go to Burton, but I had to give my ticket up.
Oh man.
Yeah, honestly, I had to sell it.
The atmosphere must have been brilliant there. It's all standing, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. Newcastle fans were just, they went raptures. Obviously, we won the game, but you know, take a small ground. We're not used to going to small grounds, and like, let's take the FA Cup or something.
I know.
You know what I mean? But
I mean, can you imagine like Rafa Benitez gone from Madrid to Burton?
Do you know what though? I've been to Stamford Bridge twice. I probably would have went to Stamford Bridge on Monday if we'd been let go to games. But hey, there we go.
I know, probably. I don't think there's a long way to go from Monday night. I mean, when have you ever played Chelsea on a Saturday or Sunday? Not hardly these days.
I think we're playing on Monday because they've been in the FA Cup, so they're obviously gonna have a 3-day break.
Fair enough.
But then the way Newcastle play, we'll make them like look as if they've had like a week off because we'll probably not get anywhere near them.
This is the thing. We have to go at them. We have to get at them. If Barnsley can do it, we should do it.
I think. I'm looking at them right now, and I've done my preview. I said the forward end of the field, they're absolutely fine. They've got some good players. I mentioned Timo Werner. You might not have scored, but he's deadly. You got Mason Mount. You know, he's a box to box player, fantastic. You know, he'll finish. But I just mentioned at the back they've got like Rudiger, who for me, I don't know how he's even a centre back at Chelsea. I think he's awful. I genuinely think he's overrated. Like, what's good about him? You tell me one good thing about Rudiger. What could he actually do?
Well, he's okay defender. I don't think he's world class.
Do you think he's okay? I don't even think he's okay anymore.
Rudiger, I think he's a good player, but I don't think he's that good.
Do you think he's better than what we on midfield defence?
Probably not. Probably not.
Tell you what, Kieran Clark will make him look. Kieran Clark's better than him.
I was going to mention Kieran Clark will be better. Fernandes' quality.
I've got Dummett as part of my centre backs tomorrow because I'm not too sure on Federico Fernandes and Jamal Selzy said it was 50-50, so you can't be too sure like what he's going to do. I can't just put them in and they think they're going to play. They might not play.
Yeah.
Can we have Mourinho back as manager
Who?
for Chelsea? Can we have Mourinho back as manager for Chelsea?
He's a Tottenham. He's struggling there at the minute, isn't he?
Because I always felt confident if it was Mourinho that was in charge of Chelsea, because we always seem to win.
And
Well, yeah. He had a record where he'd never won at St James's Park. Put Steve Bruce in charge of your football club, then he'll win. There you go, sorted. No fans anyway. No fans. You know, I mean, he had two advantages. He had no fans at St James's, and then he had Steve Bruce as the manager. So there's only one winner, isn't there?
Yep.
Joe Linton was playing, I think, at the time as well.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I think Holly was going to say something before. I think you got cut off.
Sorry.
You probably...
Yeah, I've forgotten again.
Take it off again.
No, it's not you. I think it just happens. I get a bit of a brain freeze sometimes if someone says, "Did you say something?" Like, I probably did. I've just forgot. Oh yeah, that's another thing I don't like. For one, I don't like Monday night games, and I don't know if it's just me, right? And this is probably going to be a little rant. This actually, it really shouldn't be. I don't like Saturday 8:00 kickoffs. I don't like them. I think they should be completely scrapped. I don't like them. They're too late for me. 3:00 kickoff is where it's at 5:30. Fine. At least then you can go on a night out. But imagine right, if you're like a young family, if you're going to a game at 8:00 at night, then you're leaving at 10:00 on a Saturday. That's unheard of before the pandemic.
It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
8:00.
8:00 on Saturdays? Nah.
We're not La Liga.
I know. Oh, sorry.
Like 8. I don't know. Like, I'm thinking of a more like a YouTube like perspective as well. You didn't want to be putting videos out at like 10:00 at night and 12:00 talking about a game that you just watched. Imagine if you've been beaten as well. I want to watch match of the day rather than like putting videos out at 10:00. You know what I mean? If it's like 5:30, at least I can live with it. Like 7:00, aye, but not 10.
Aye, yeah, I mean, I've got to do a watch along on Monday anyway, so I'm going to be absolutely
shattered. Monday is fine. Like I've heard of 8:00 kickoffs on a Monday, but on a Saturday, come on, man. I mean, who thinks of this?
Premier League, I guess.
I mean, like Wolves again. Do you know what I mean? Like Newcastle versus Wolves. I think is an 8:00 kickoff. Is that next week or the week after? Like, who's interested unless you support Newcastle or Wolves?
I didn't know we were playing later games.
Who's staying up to watch that ball fest? Do I have Steve Bruce football?
Put it in the nils each.
All of us, unfortunately.
Do you know what? I wouldn't be surprised the way Wolves are playing that the game could end in a 0. I hope it doesn't. It better not.
Better not be. Spenny, how we doing, my guy? Hope you're okay. And thanks for coming on. I've been on here for 2.5 hours now.
Well, that's what happens when you get guests on. Welcome, mate. Hey, John. I once done, if you ever see me back in the day, I once done a live stream, right, for nearly 5-6 hours once, and I was literally dead on my feet.
5-6 hours?
I did. I really did. Honestly, ask anyone. Ask Peter. Ask anyone, right? It was literally in the summer. You know, when I had the takeover.
Yeah.
I must have started the live stream at like 8:00. Honestly, I must have got off at like 2:30, 3:00 in the morning. I was still chatting.
Wow. Did you get a lot of fun? Did you get a lot of people coming on? Did you get a lot of people watching live? Yeah.
I don't know what the record is, but I literally just everyone was just commenting. I just kept going and going and going and going. I was just drinking loads of cans and whatnot. So I was just hoping something was going to happen. But then I'm just thinking, I've just drowned my sorrows in, like just next morning, back to square one.
You know what? I might do that myself one day. I'm going to do it myself.
I'm getting too old for that now, But no, honestly, like I've just dropped the Friday ones, but I will be back to it. I just want to be in a moment where I can actually do live streams on a regular basis for like days where I'm not like busy. Obviously tonight I had a few things to do at like 7, but I'm in here now. But you can't commit to something if you're going to get caught out doing other things. Do you know what I mean? I just think it's
true. I mean,
you're private, mate. You're getting everyone on.
Aye, I know what you mean. Spending back say you're looking good. Thanks very much. I much appreciate it very much. I really appreciate that one. Man United, 7 p.m. on Sunday. Is that kickoff Sunday, 7 p.m. on Sunday?
Oh no, yes, actually, yes, it is. It's next Sunday. I play Man United at home.
7 p.m. on Sunday.
To Old Trafford.
I tell you what, they love a late kickoffs, don't they? They put us. You know what they're trying to do with that because we peed them off for the takeover. That's why they do this.
I normally do a quiz on a Sunday night at 7:00, and that's been cancelled because of the game. And I might regret it if it ends up like a 0-0. I will get beat. I regret it. But to be fair, we don't get many Sunday games anymore. I can't remember the last time we had a Sunday game, or if it was like a 2:00 kickoff or something. We just get Saturday late kickoffs.
It's ridiculous, man. You just said it there. You've got a young family sort of thing. They're not going to stay on that list. Surely not.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, who's going to stay up and want to watch that? Do you know what I mean? Like, unless you support Newcastle or Wolves.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I mean, you're leaving the stadium at like 10 o'clock. There's no guarantees that the transport's going to be on. And even so, like, dangerous really when you think about it. Saturday night, people out and about.
Yeah. What I was saying is, right, I've got come to me comment said, Spenny said, late kickoffs for American set of friends. What I would say is, if you're going to watch Newcastle against Wolves, if you live in America or if you're in Australia, stay in bed. Don't get up for this.
Well, if you're American, if you're American, if Newcastle are on, it'll be a snooze fest anyway. You'll be asleep.
I just say stay in bed.
Yeah,
just stay in bed and just get up the next day. Just let us do the worrying. Do you know what I mean?
Dedication. If you're a Geordie that lives on the other side of the planet, the other side of the world, whatever, you can tell us later. But anyway, if you're living on the other side of the world, I mean, you're dedicated if you want to watch the Snowfest every week. we're local and we can't. We can only just get up to it. Only just.
Yeah, have you got Spenny again after all? Premiership, 60% American owned. He's right.
What was that thing I was here? There was talking about some American guy, someone looking at Newcastle. Was that something I read?
It's not the first time it's after. They're after us, man. You know, because they used to be at Bordeaux, and they were buying Bordeaux, and then they tried to buy us as well, and then you go to Southampton, try to buy them. As well.
That was it. That was it. Southampton. Apparently, Southampton were too expensive, but then he sees Newcastle as more valuable. Like, something doesn't add up there, mind.
Definitely not. Because
that stinks out.
Definitely. There's only one deal on the table, and there's only one deal in town.
And by the way, Southampton, if you read into it, I was talking to a couple of Southampton fans the other day that the board turned them down. They didn't want them.
Well, if they turn them down, we don't want them. And got
but like Ashley will take money.
Wow. I tell you what, though, I'm loving this blog. I'm loving the blog now. I'm going to be massive one day, you know. If I get 1,000 people...
John, listen to us. You'll pass me soon, right? I'm on 3K, but you'll pass us. Trust us. You keep going the way you're going, mate. I'll be trying to play catch up. No, but honestly, do you know what? I'm like I say, I'm not here for competition. For me, I've worked hard to get to where I am. It's tough. It's hard, you know. It's hard.
Listen, at the end of the day, right? I mean, if you put a good content, then you get good viewers and you get subscribers.
Do you know what? It's hard to gain subscribers. You may think, oh, he's got all them subscribers. That's hard work. That, you know, you've literally just got to grind. It's tough.
It's tough to do some more content. I will do a lot more content, like do my combined 11. I would do a combined 11, right, between Chelsea and Newcastle. I see if I can work it out on Sunday and do that.
Oh, John, by the way, don't buy any subscribers. You'll mess up your channel by doing that. Don't buy any subscribers.
Oh, definitely not.
Keep away from that. Keep away from that rubbish.
2 weeks, I think it's 2-3 weeks ago, I was off of that, right? So I posted on Twitter and say, is it worth us doing it? No. And then, put in capitals, don't do it, John. No. And I think I found
you'll mess your algorithm up as well. Like people, like your thing is, you think, oh yes, I've got 5,000 subscribers. I'm guaranteed 5,000 views. Not at all. Not at all.
Bots.
Not at all. Like I mean, I've got 3K. But that doesn't guarantee that I'm going to get like 3,000 views on a video. It all depends on what you do. Like it all depends on the algorithm for YouTube, like where you rank, where your video ranks in their algorithm. If it doesn't rank high, it doesn't rank high. You know what I mean? If it does, it does. Like for me, I look at my videos and I just put a video out and see what happens. I have no expectation for them.
Wow, you're right. I mean, we're not that daft, and we're just going to take this channel down. You've got to start all over again, and that's going to be hard work. I'll build. You could have 1 million subscribers. If they find out you're doing it, they'll just take you down. That's what they do. Totally agree. And I don't blame them because it's cheating. Do you know what I mean?
The amount of channels I've seen with over 1 million subscribers and they've been knocked back off YouTube, they don't care. It's their platform.
I know, and it takes days to fully knock
you could make a living off YouTube, right? But if they want to knock you off, they'll knock you off. It's their platform.
You're right. Listen, I've got good guys like you guys, Holly, Shaggy, and Dom, and all of that subscribers. I'm so happy what I've got, you know? And
exactly, contacts,
you get regular contacts to watch your streams, whatever sort of thing, which is great. And I've got Spenny again. Did you see Mark Douglas report that today? So we hear some 2 weeks about the takeover.
Do you mean the takeover that we've been trying to hear about for the last 2 years and still nothing's happened? 3 years.
The thing is, so I'm not being funny, right? But the best thing to do, let them get on with it. Let them get on the job in hand, on the background, and then announce it.
You know what though? I'm at the same thing as Paul, because Paul said the other week, let them just deal with what they need to do. As you said there, John, let them deal with it, and then we'll just we'll focus on what we need to do, which is stay in the Premier League, and then we'll find out in the summer what's going to happen. If it happens, it happens. Great. If it doesn't, then we can't be shocked, though, can we? We can't just turn around and say, "Oh, but the takeover didn't happen." We can't be surprised. We can't. We've got to get behind the side. We can't.
Right. Totally.
The thing is, people read that and say, Mark Douglas said, we'll hear something in 2 weeks on the takeover. Everyone's going mad and saying, "Oh, we're going to get taken over in 2 weeks." No, we might hear something or some sort of news in 2 weeks. Yeah, possibly, but we'll not be taken over in 2 weeks' time. That's impossible.
The thing is, don't read into it too much, because when you look on Twitter these days, anyone could just put, "Oh, there's a takeover happening," and then everyone's like onto it. Do you know what I mean? Like they're clinging on to that little bit of information, and it may not be true. I'm not trying to be bad. I'm not trying to be a doom monger. What I'm saying is, everyone reads a tiny little bit of detail that goes on social media, and people are like eating onto it. And then if it doesn't go right, oh, you're to blame. No one's to blame until it actually happens.
You're right.
I don't know about yous, but like literally the first, like when we first heard about the takeover in March, I think it was, I was literally, because we just went into lockdown, I was just torturing myself, constantly refreshing my feed and stuff like that. And it was getting ridiculous to the point where I was literally having like something stupid like 18 hours of screen time a day. Like it was an addiction. It was absolutely silly. And I don't want to post about it anymore, because I don't want to go down that route, because it's just gets you stressed out over stupid things and doesn't really matter. Not really.
Thing is, if you look at me, go on.
Sorry, a lot of people have actually said, the blame all this, the takeover talk and all that, because obviously, you're in lockdown. It's your only source of news from outside. So it has played on, people's mental health, and it's become an obsession as well. And I find it quite bad. But at the same time, I would say to anyone, please take yourself away from it for a couple of days, because it doesn't do you any good. It's if you want to check up, but just take yourself away now and again, because it doesn't do you any good.
I'll tell you what, when the takeover was sort of circulating last year, that was probably the most, since I've been on YouTube, that was 3 years in, that was the most I'd ever sort of covered the takeover, because I genuinely thought something was going to happen. I think we all thought something was going to happen. It was a big deal, big money, Newcastle, going to start competing again, and we thought Mike Ashley's definitely going to get rid of the club and give it to the better hands so we can move forward. And then I've done live streams and whatnot. But then the minute it sort of fell through, I've never really been bothered about it. I've never put any focus on it. Because at the end of the day, once you've seen it all before, once you've seen it again and again and again and again, it's just repetitive. You know what I mean? You get used to it, and then you just sort of oh well, it's another one will come up, and then you get bored of it again, and then something else will come up, and then you get bored of it again. It'll just drop. So now I don't report on any takeover on the channel unless I know something is actually happening, because it's not fair on the viewer, it's not fair on the people who support the club. And like I say, as Holly said, it can be addicting, because you're always you're scrolling on your Twitter and your Facebook and that to see what's being said. But nowadays, you just don't know who to believe. When it comes to a takeover, who do you believe?
That's why I'm just gonna wait till it comes out. Just come out and just announce the news at the end of the season if he's still up, and just say it's been taken over. So, what's
this with Nick DeMarco? They're saying things he's good doing the courts and stuff, but that's nothing to Do you know what I mean? It's just clinging on to hope, isn't it, really, that something's going to happen? It's a court case. Anything can happen in a court case.
You know what it is, right? I mean, when he sends a tweet out, sort of, I don't bother replying back, and you get about 500 people hoping something's going to happen. Do you know what I mean? I just think, you know what? I know he's going to stick up for Ashley, sort of thing, defend Ashley in this court case, sort of thing, but let him get on with it. Do you know what I mean?
It's got nothing to do with us, though. We've just got to just hope. Go on, Ollie.
Clear on the hope.
If it goes to court, I don't even think it'll end up going through, because I think it'll take years and years to go through the court, and by that time, would the takeover even matter? No, because then everyone would have moved on. So I don't think it'll happen if it does go to court.
See, that's me. Everyone's so clinging on to for something to happen in the summer. Yes, of course, we all want something to happen, but I'm just I'm not bothered. If it doesn't happen, well, I'll still get behind the side regardless. Do you know what I mean? We can't control anything that happens at board level, as much as we don't really seem to have a board because they never talk. But that's what I'm saying. We don't have any control that happens at the top. We don't. But they never speak. Like Mike Ashley and Lee Charnley's statements are copy and paste. That's what they are.
And it's out of our control, and like it's hard. And I think the journalists, so they need to take some responsibility and not report on it until it's literally about to happen. Because for people like me, like I'm not normally one for getting like sucked into things and that, but it was because I think I was so certain it was going to happen and I was so excited by it. It was just ruining my mental health. And obviously we'd been in this lockdown for the first time and we didn't really like know anything about it, and it was just the only thing that people had. And so I was just sitting scrolling. I never had my phone out of my hand. It was just so unhealthy, and I just hope that never happens again.
But you think of the money that was involved as well, like the purchase the club, and then you got X, Y, and Z amount to spend, and this is what we're going to do. You know, they were even like talking about drawing up plans, like how we're going to win the title and stuff. I'm like, bloody hell, we can't even get up a mid-table these days. We're struggling around 12th. we can't even compete with the mid-table clubs. Well, barely anyway.
It was silly. It was like they had a new article out like every minute, and it would be like so stupid, like, oh, he's walked 5 steps across the room or something, like just ridiculous. I was like,
what was it? What was it? Oh, the planes. Oh, there's been a plane spotted at Newcastle Airport. Oh, they're getting off.
I know.
They're getting off.
Tracking planes, and then even like the thing with the bread, cutting it into certain amounts. I was like, this is just stupid now.
I don't buy into that bull crap. Honestly, I see it all on Twitter. Oh, they're on the planes on the way down. I'm like, no, they're not. No, they're not.
I know, when you look at it could be for anything. Like Mike Ashley's a businessman and he has like contacts all over the world, so it's probably nothing to do with the takeover. He's probably just.
I tell you, that was the most toxic when that takeover fell through. I mean, people are still like thinking it's going to happen now. I mean, it could. Like I say, I'm not ruling anything out, but what I'm saying is, I'm not like as excited as what I was last year. I'm just cautious, you know. But like, I look at the whole situation now, let's just rewind back to last summer when we were still in the pandemic, which we are now. The fans were so toxic because not only could we not get back in the stadium, fans were getting their money taken out. They couldn't, they were getting money taken off them for no reason, for not getting in the ground. And honestly, last summer you just didn't want to be around the club. It was so bad. Like, I mean, it still is now, to be fair, but it was so toxic. I mean, that was probably worse than relegation back in 2009 and 2016. Like, fans were so toxic, which is rightly so. Like, if a takeover's fallen through and it's a big money takeover, is what they're reporting, then, it's about to be toxic. You've still got Steve Bruce as your manager. There was dreams of getting Pochettino in as a manager and all this. Do you know what I mean? And it all just, like, collapsed. And the fans were like, oh, we'll go into this season with the same. Joe Linton up front.
I know. That's what I hated, though. Fans were, like, sending abuse to each other because they were disagreeing on stuff. And it was just, that was the bad thing. Because, like, at the end of the day, everybody's just a fan and everyone's got their own opinion. And just, it's not something to argue over. Like, just, if you don't agree, just don't comment.
Yeah, like I get a few of them on Facebook. Like, I'm not like trying to disagree with someone. If I feel like it's going to turn into an argument, I just stop like replying to it. Like, or if they keep continuing, then I just delete it and say right. And if they say something back, I just get blocked. Simple as that. You didn't want to start arguments with fans. I don't want to argue with fellow fans. You know what I mean? That's not what it's about.
No.
Nah. You get some people like that, and there's a few names I can mention, but I'm not going to mention the names because I've been blocked of them anyway, sort of thing, and I haven't hardly said a word to them. Do you know what I mean? So they're lost. Yeah, well, that's it. Like, that's how I say it. If you ever get blocked of someone, that's their loss. You'll get it at the end of the day. Like, it means I can't speak to you. It's fine. Don't worry about them. Yeah, right. I was going to say it's coming up to 2 hours and 40 odd minutes on the stream there, sort of thing. Is yeah, I mean, it's been a cracking even at this moment in time, sort of thing, and it's great to see. And no, I was going to say, so I don't know what I got to do 2 more live streams tomorrow. I'm going to do the half-time player ratings, like I said earlier on. I've got to try and get.
John, you do marathons on YouTube. You do absolute marathons. the amount of videos that you're doing, I'm doing 2 live streams the next day. Then the day after that, I've definitely got 5 live streams lined up, and then I've got an interview to do on Monday. Like, how? Wow! in the word of Jurgen Klopp, wow.
Wow.
I'm talking to this guy from Korea. I'm talking to this guy from France. I'm talking to this guy from Italy. I'm talking to this fan. I'm like, wow. John, how do you do it?
Well, it's just all I do, I just post it out and say,
John's got contacts.
John, yeah, oh yeah, John's got contacts. All right.
Wow.
No, this is John. You're an absolute legend, mate.
Thanks, man. Thanks, very
John's
much.
an absolute legend. He makes us laugh.
Thanks, man.
Legend.
Well, to be fair, he's all make us laugh. Even if I'm not on the stream, he'll still make us laugh. He's all make us laugh. It's fun.
And that's what it's all about. You got to keep people happy, Sophie. You know what I mean? You got to be happy.
Well, in a pandemic, if you can't laugh, you'll just cry. So it's best to try and stay positive.
What's the point? You got to turn it exactly. Totally agree. I know people are not happy. Oh, I can't do this in the pandemic, but do something. Do something. Make it happy. Do you know what I mean?
Walk and talk. That's what I say. It works.
It works, yeah, right. But at the end of the day, but I'm doing well, like on the fans forum overseas. I've done it twice now. I did it with an American guy, and I've done it with the guy, with a French Swiss guy yesterday, Lionel. What a guy, brilliant guy.
Hey John, I have to ask you a question. Can I come back on your watch along? Because the one and only watch along we did was Sheffield today, wasn't it? The first game of the season.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I didn't get invited.
Paul as well, man. You know, that'd be brilliant, man. You know,
I'm just being sarcastic because I mean, I literally stormed off after about an 8 year. I can't do this anymore. It wasn't you. It wasn't you. The game was just so bad. Like, 5 at the back against Sheffield United. I've won that. I can't do this anymore. Can't do it.
Yeah, you're always welcome to, my guy. You're always welcome to. I've got loads of contents, man. Watch-alongs.
Of course, yeah. Have you got contacts?
Ratings, and I've got press conference reactions as well. Twice. I've got. Oh my God! I mean, I'm mad. I mean, Hull's going to be a bigger star than I am in a minute. You know.
I'll tell you what, you'll be interviewed at the stadium next. 52,000 fans. John in the centre circle. With his microphone. Right, live reaction, live fan reaction.
Hey John, just this message from PD Proudlock here. John, where is Gillington tonight?
Yeah, where is he?
Isn't he? He's telling you all this information.
Where's Gillington? Where is he?
Well, Holly can tell us.
I can tell you. I don't know. Probably, hopefully, as far away from Newcastle as possible, to be fair. But
hey, John. John.
Yo.
I hope you get your name and number for next season. John Joe Linton. That's your name now. John Joe Linton. John Joe Linton. That's your name now. That's your name. John Joe Linton.
Last season's shirt, I literally got Joe Linton on the back because I thought he was going to be a great player, and I heavily regret
No,
that.
you didn't, did you? Oh no, you didn't, did you? I literally do not get players' names on because I look at our current squad. Like no offense, but it's either they don't last 5 minutes because they get sold, or they're just generally bang average.
Well, it's the first time I have in years, to be fair, and I'm not going to do it anymore because I regretted it.
Do you know what I'll go with? I'll go Sharky, number 9. And everyone goes, "Is your name Sharky?" He goes, "No, it's my second name. I just use." If people call it as my nickname, I'm like, "No, I do have a first name." But yeah. Anyway,
I've got Tom. So Tom, you okay, mate? I hope you're fine. I'm sorry to Virgis, by the way. I see him on Twitter these days. He used to be on Twitter all the time, and he's a good guy, and he loves his fish and chips and Whitby, if I got the right one. So,
I've seen Joe Linton in the fish and chip shop the other day, mind. He was asking about you, John.
Really? Which one? There's one in Gosforth, which I like as well. So he's in Australia, and that's far away. But I tell you what, if he's in Australia now, he'd be in bed. He's not be watching this game.
Who, Joe Linton? He's useless anyway.
He's not watching this game, nah. But
you never know. I mean, he might join you for the Serie A soon. You and Joe Linton.
Yeah.
Next time I'm on John's show, I think I should wear my Joe Linton shirt just to make John happy.
I think you should. That would be just hilarious.
I reckon we should have John swap with Joe Linton, honestly, and he can play up front.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll do a good job with him as well, man.
Hey, John, when you played football, where did you play? Or what was your favourite position?
Good question. I used to play anywhere, really, but in goal would be good for us because.
Can you play up front?
Goalkeeper.
Can you play up front? Can you play on the left?
Yeah, I can give it a go.
Right, Joe Linton's gone then. You sold? Done deal?
Yeah, I hold the ball up and take people on the play. I've Holly's me number 10, and I just hold the ball and bring you guys in the play.
Oh man, honestly, like I say with Joe Linton now, and how long has he got left? Is it 4.5 years left? That pains me. That does. It really does. I think he's got that long.
Oh yeah. After this,
do I have to honestly put up with this lad for 4 years?
I said the other day, whoever signed this guy up should be sacked for fraud and deception.
For me, like I mentioned before, it's not about the price tag. It's about the ability of the player, and he's just simply not good enough. for Premier League level. Like I'm not going to rule him out completely for the Championship because he might just smash it. You know what I mean? He might do it in there. Like, he's going to play regular like Saturday, Tuesday. But as I said before, if he can't score more than double figures in the Championship, that proves my point.
Exactly.
Do you know what though? Right? He would probably struggle. Right, if Wycombe Wanderers away in the Championship, he probably would.
He probably would. He'd be better played for Wycombe then. You know what I mean? Better played for Wycombe. That'd be the best.
Could you imagine our current Championship side with Rafa, but we didn't have Dwight Gale, Joe Linton up front to match him? We probably wouldn't get out the division.
We probably wouldn't.
We would not get out the division. What, Holly? Sorry,
we won't. Because
Not
it's
even as
him.
a joke.
Of course it's.
Not even as a joke, but when we seen him against Rochdale, when we played them in the cup last year, literally he looked like a bang average League One player. And it's no joke.
Oh, right. I'll tell you a story about this one. I was absolutely fuming that day. So I was actually on my way to go and watch Gateshead because I had a game at the Gateshead Stadium, 3 o'clock kickoff, and I think Newcastle had an early kickoff. So I watched the first half, then got the Metro Cross, and I met Peter and a few other lads. And then I think David said, "Oh, they've equalised." I goes, "You actually take the piss, are you? No, you're lying. Yeah, like, there's no way we've dominated them. We've had them all over the park. We should be 4-5-0 up. Oh no, that actually equalised." And I was raging. I was like, we actually drawn with Rochdale.
Count yourself lucky because I went down.
That's what I'm saying. Rochdale. Like, we've actually, like, and by the way, Rochdale, but not only did a 40-yard, was he 41 off? I don't know. He was 40 anyway. Hey, there you go, 40,
Yeah,
right?
he
40.
was. He was in his 40s, I think.
They should have won. Oh, Wilbraham, that was it. They should have won. At the end, they had plenty of chances of thinking, how are we letting this game slip against the League One side? They were like 18th in the league or something. Like, they're really bad. They had them all over the park. Joe Linton must have missed it with 15 big chances. He must have missed an open goal on 4 or 5 occasions. Come on, man.
I'll tell you what as well. I'll tell you something as well. I mean, if Rochdale would have gone 2-1 up, I wouldn't have any complaints.
Do you remember Oxford? Remember Oxford at home? Oxford should have nicked it right at the very before they got the replay.
Oh.
They should have won it right at the death. Fitz and James's should have beat one. Oxford all over. Oxford.
Shocking. And then he wants to come on the stream as well. I mean, shall I get him in for 5-10?
Yeah, bring him in.
I'll get him in. I mean, if
hey, John, we'll just walk.
Here's a bit of trivia for you.
Go on.
Who was Sunderland's bogey team in the last couple of years?
Oh, but probably Aston Villa, was it?
Burton
Albion.
Oh no! Oh right, sorry. I'm thinking there was some. Burton, the one who they were laughing at us.
Right. I played for 2 games for Burton Albion before they became, the team that they became.
Darren Bent? No.
No, I played for Burton. I played for Burton for 2 games in the time, and that was me. Before they became the team in the Championship.
Oh, I'm trying to figure out what it is now.
Me.
Oh. But to be fair though, John, you were saying bring Peter in. That's probably just warming you up, when you do your 5-6 hour live streams. If you're going to want to get famous, you might be doing 24-hour live streams.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Do you drink any energy drinks? By the way, I don't promote energy drinks, but do you drink them? You might need them.
I think I probably need to at some stage, I mean, I've got to have to.
Hey, John, though, it's always good, if you get loads of guests on, it does help your subscribers. The more guests you get on, it always helps. It creates conversation.
I think you're right in a way.
YouTube like it when you've got a big conversation going, like loads of people. I love it.
I think it's brilliant.
Let's do a 36-hour stream.
36-hour stream, that'd be nice.
Yeah, John, you've still got a good 21 hours to go. If you want to go do 20 over, you know what I mean?
I'm working it. I've got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
5 o'clock? Bloody hell. That reminds me of the old days.
Yeah, sort of thing like I was saying for a little bit. Like, there he is, there's my guy, and we got, hey.
We're all having a laugh, mate. You've missed the whole conversation.
Oh, man.
We've just been mocking him about Joe Linton. We've been talking about his ASMR channel as well.
Oh, yes.
Slowly now. Joe Linton. I just remember having him laughing. Oh dear. But no, honestly, it's been a good laugh, and I've enjoyed it.
Oh, aye. Good man.
Been brilliant, man. Oh man. Then I got John Linton. Thank you very much indeed.
John,
Thank
I've got you a name now. It's not John Linton. It's called John Joe Linton. There you go.
Thank you.
John
Thank you very
Jordan.
much.
You have to have not John Sinclair. John Joe Linton. That's your name from now on.
Yeah.
I'll put it on mutual. I'll put it on mutual.
By the way, I don't think you could quite make us out.
Oh, is there?
Get your name and number on the back, right? Get John Joe Linton, right? And have a guess what your number can be as well. 15 for 15 million.
Oh man.
No, honestly, I think is it Jamal Lewis? Is it Jamal Lewis who's got 15? You might be happy. You might want to give Lewis a bit of a call to say, "Excuse me, can I have your number 15 shirt, please?"
Well, I'll tell you, when I could hop in next season because Cam's going to be a number 9, isn't he? So.
Oh man, honestly, but no, Peter, we've been talking about the Chelsea game, the dreaded game on Monday. I'm not even dreading it, me. I'm actually not. Do you know what? It sounds mad. I'm not even dreading it. I'm actually looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, I've actually backed for a draw, actually.
Same. I think we're gonna. You know what? I think we're gonna go there and draw 1-1 and smash them up. I think we'll beat them. Honestly, I think we'll smash them up.
I've went there 2-2. I mean, like, I've watched Chelsea the previous games, and I don't think they've looked out special.
You got Joe Linton on your side.
No.
Substitution for Newcastle coming on, John Joe Linton, and coming off, Joe Linton.
But yeah, I mean, I don't think Chelsea have been out special. I mean, the game against Sheffield United, I don't think they were special. In the Barnsley game yesterday, I thought Barnsley were the much better side by a mile.
Their manager's fuming at the minute. Apparently he's getting fined though because he went against the FA. He said, "Oh, well, there was no VAR on the game. They got was it denied a penalty? To be fair, they got denied a couple. Chelsea got very lucky. So I think we've got a very big chance on Monday. If Chelsea play like that, but if we play how we are capable of playing, I think we can get in their faces. I really do think if we can get, even if we don't say we're getting a lead, right? If we can get a lead, it'll help. Do you know what I mean? Because Chelsea will have to get back into it.
I think it will.
I think ASM will cause them an absolute nightmare on Monday night. I really do. I think ASM is going to be on his game. I really do. He'll tear them in all. You look at Rudiger, right? You look at ASM and Rudiger. Rudiger will have a nightmare. He'll be treated the same maximum.
Oh God, I mean, like Rudiger. I mean, that goal, like that own goal he scored. I mean, my God, that is one of the most comical own goals I've seen in my life.
By the way, I have actually done my starting 11. I will actually give it away. You can crucify us if you want to. That's absolutely fine. I'm willing to be crucified. Okay. Mm-hmm. I've went 4-2-3-1. I haven't actually got Joe Willock in my starting 11 as a 4-2-3-1. I've actually got Shelby in for the experienced head. We need someone who's experienced. I know. Listen, it's a big call. It's a big call. I will say. We need someone with a bit of experience. Like if we're defending, because we're going to be defending the game. There's no doubt we're not going to play open football against Chelsea. I'd be amazed if we do. I've gone Hayden and Shelby just to play safe, and then bring Willock on in the second half.
I've actually got Willock.
Right? Do you know what though? Right, if you start Willock, it wouldn't be a bad idea. But even if you bring Willock off the bench, even if the game's still 0-0, he's got plenty of energy. You'll just get at them. That's how I see it.
The thing is, I've actually took Shelby out this time.
Have you? I'm about to get crucified tomorrow, but I have actually give Shelby that chance to keep his place.
Well, it's what people are going to think. The reason I've took Shelby out my start lineup this time, it goes back to that the game against Southampton, where he made an absolute hash of a free kick, and that leads to Southampton getting their first goal in the game. I mean,
yeah, like I don't know, like I just think against Chelsea, like I wouldn't go 4-3-3. Like if we're too open, we're gonna be knackered. We are like we're not gonna play full game like that.
I went for a 4-2-3-1 formation as well. I mean,
lads, I think we've been left to it because John's gone and Holly's no longer in there.
Holly had a problem with her phone, I think. But no, honestly, I'm saying against Chelsea, I literally wouldn't go like all out against them. I would literally go 4 at the back, 2 in midfield, play a formation that we're used to playing. And by the way, there's not going to be too much change with the side. We're only really missing up front is Callum Wilson. Yes, he'll be a big miss, but Gale's got pace. Like you just need to give him service. Like we're talking about that, he's not good. Yeah, I mean, I think he's finished personally, but the service is going to be so important on Monday because if we don't give this lad any service or Almiron, how are we going to do anything?
Exactly. Well, I've actually gone for Gale to start up front. I think as you mentioned, we could do with that bit of pace. I think Andy Carroll, I think you can only bring him on like
I wouldn't start me. Didn't start him.
We've got the game in the bag, or possibly for 1-0 down or drawn the game. And Joe Linton just fills me with absolutely zero confidence whatsoever.
Yeah, like Joe Linton, I wouldn't be surprised if he starts him or if he comes on in the second half. I'd prefer to bring Joe Linton on second half. For me, or if you're going to bring Andy Carroll on, just don't start him, because if you start him, for me, I think we've lost. And I don't like to be defeatist already. If we start him, what does Joe Linton actually do? Like, the guy can barely run.
The thing with Joe Linton, I mean, he was stifled. I would think, by our negative tactics, but now we're starting to play a bit positively. Could he get a few goals in or start to thrive? But
if he get the box, that would help. Honestly, literally, if he gets out our own half and he goes into the box, that would definitely be a massive help. But he just, I don't know what Joe Linton's style of play is, to be honest. I mean, he was playing out wide for a bit and he still struggled. I mean, Palace, he just okay, he made one and he scored one, but it's Palace though. I didn't think Palace are a good side. And do you know what? I was absolutely fuming, right? I was seething after that game that we lost to them. After a 1-0 lead, we had the lead through John Shelby, great goal. But what did Newcastle do in that game? Oh yeah, we sat back and we gave Crystal Palace 2 goals. And what did they do? They packed the defence, packed out their own half. That's it. Game over. Finished. I was fuming.
The best thing to not get beaten by Leeds 2-0 recently.
We lost, right? We lost. We beat them. Fair enough. We had a good last 10 minutes and we beat them, but we lost to Crystal Palace at St James's Park. For me, that should never happen. Not against them.
No, absolutely not.
Nah, it shouldn't happen. Not for me. I'm literally then Bruce was like, "Oh, but we played all right." But we had what was it? We had a bad 15 minutes. But hang on, didn't we score in that 15-minute period? Do you think we were bad after that? For that,
Yeah, I mean, it's the second goal that really annoys me.
Oh, the Cahill one when no one was marking him, no one was picking him up.
Yeah.
To be fair, they were both good goals, but the defender for both of them, I think, was shocking. The lead up to the first goal, I don't know if Holly, if you've seen it yourself, but they were playing 1-2s around my box before they scored the first one.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace were playing 1-2s around our own box in our own half. 1-2s. I was like, what? What are we doing?
I know, that's the thing. All the time.
I'm going to get gone. Oh, sorry, Holly. I've cut you off again. I'll keep doing this. Sorry, I'm going to jump out. I've got kids to sort out, so I'll see you all.
Listen,
good on me.
We chat on a couple of days and we get you sorted to talk about football.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Thanks for coming on, man.
Take it easy, mate. Watch what you're doing.
No problem. Yeah, you too.
You too. Yes. Thanks for coming on. Night.
But yeah, you were saying something, Holly, about, was it you were saying something?
Oh yeah, I was just saying, it's constant, teams just always take the mick out of her, with absolutely nothing. Even we'll have strong players on the ball, Andy Carroll's a prime example, and they'll just push us off the ball we're absolutely nothing and just take the mick. It's so embarrassing to watch.
John, we're talking about the embarrassment against Crystal Palace when they found out.
Is that we lost 2-1 or?
Oh yeah, I was saying, for their first goal, they were playing 1-2s around the box, and that Real or whatever he scored. I can't make out his name. Correct us if I'm wrong. And then Peter's mentioned the second goal.
Nah, I mean, that's a poor goal. I mean, we just didn't let a glove on. I mean, when it come forward, we just didn't tackle. It's like watching social distancing football. You know what I mean?
Well, we do anyway. It's 6 meters apart.
It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. There's just no tackling. There's no pressing. No. And then,
John, were you not seething though? I was seething me after that game. Honestly, I couldn't believe we lost the game. I was seething me.
I just laughed. It's shocking, man. Shocking.
I mean, I got loads of pelters on in the comments because I'm like, oh, we played Crystal Palace. I was as if I was dissing them. I was like, yeah, well, we've lost to Crystal Palace. Not against Man City, not Liverpool. Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Why? I'm sorry, but you can't. Bruce was saying, we had was it the first 15, 20 minutes? Oh, we weren't so good. Had on was good. Then we're on top. So what's he watching?
I don't know. He must be watching a different game, man. I mean, the second goal as well. I mean, that's down to Lewis giving a stupid free kick away. And then the free kick came in. And then I think Shaw lost this man, Gary Cahill. He got a second goal. But we could see the 2 poor goals. And the first one, you're right. The second one.
1-2s? They were playing 1-2s around my box. Like before that first goal went in, they were literally playing around our own box in our own half. They were playing 1-2s, and that's Crystal Palace. It's not like Man City tick-a-taka, Crystal Palace tick-a-taka around my box in the Gallagher end. I'm like, someone's got to put a challenge in, otherwise they're going to score. And what happens?
Exactly my point. No one didn't.
And you know what? The funny thing with the commentator, they were like, "Oh, Crystal Palace put the ball in, goal," and then we'll just get laughed at 2-1 down. Like Gary Cahill hadn't scored in about 2 years. What did Newcastle do? Oh, we'll give him a go.
Let him score.
And he literally said, "Oh, that was probably one of the easiest goals I'll ever score in my career." Yeah, because you're playing against us. We're literally the most defensive team I know.
Yeah.
But but he told a radio station after the game. Was it a radio station or a TV station? Oh, the second half was so much better. We played so much better football. I'm sorry, that was dull. That against Crystal Palace.
Wasn't any better.
What did we do?
We had one shot on target, and that was Shah's feeble header straight to the keeper. That was it.
The rest of the shots were while over the crossbar, weren't they?
You know, he literally goes. Oh, we were so much better, but we were so much better in the final third. No, we weren't. We didn't do anything. We barely laid a glove on him. The keeper.
You're right. I mean, the trouble is, when they go behind as well, we just don't come back and win the game.
Tell you what, mind. When he was like quite relieved after the Southampton game, on another day we could have lost that. You know, going down to 9 men.
I mean, that was nail biting stuff. When you can't do the 9 men, you're thinking, God, there's an 8 chance. But we managed to grind out the 3 points.
Do you want to hear a positive for Monday?
No Jeff Hendrick. Johnny will be happy. No Jeff.
Jeff, I'm not being funny, right? But for him getting sent off last week, it's a blessing in disguise for me. You know what I mean?
I didn't rate me. I didn't rate him. What's the offer?
He doesn't offer now. I mean, for me, it's like playing with 10 men. I mean, what does he actually bring? For a start, he's not a right winger, right?
By the way, for one, I'm not like criticising him because he's come from like a championship club or he's come from Burnley. And because he's a free, I just don't see what he brings to the side. Like, he's got no quality about him, and he just strolls around the pitch. I mean, you wonder how he's even got 2 goals for the club. And that's not me like having to put a dig on him. I've never rated the guy. I really haven't. For me, and Peter said he was a waste of a shirt. Yes, and I don't say that lightly.
And this is the player that was being watched by AC Milan.
Who? Oh yes, I've seen that.
AC Milan were watching him.
He wouldn't get a game.
No,
sorry, like he would not get a game in that. I'm sorry, he would not get a game in that side. Not with Ibra on the side. Him and Ibra, he wouldn't get a game. Ibra would eat him alive.
Exactly, and I'll tell you what as well. I'm not being funny, but would he take over Fan Kessie's place? Nah. Would he get in front of Sandro Tonali? Nah.
The thing is, though, right? The thing is, and I look back at the Southampton game, right? I'm kind of glad that we got the 3 points in the end because, I mean, that first half alone, right, when we're dominated, I mean, trust Newcastle to lose 3 key players and lose Jeff Hendrick. But, you know, imagine what would have happened if we'd still had, like, our best players in the pitch second half and we didn't lose Jeff Hendrick. We probably would have won that game 6 or 7-2. The way we played in that first half, we were literally on fire. Like, I've never seen Newcastle play like that in ages.
Yeah.
They literally, I think we would have beaten them 6 or... Honestly, like FIFA Ultimate Team, we would have beat them 6 or 7-2. Like, Southampton were poor.
They were poor.
But they're saying they should have won. Now, do you know what? And I wouldn't disagree with them. They had really big chances. The ones for Darlow.
Yeah, right. I mean, not only that. I mean, we had Shelby had a good chance as well, and he screwed it wide, didn't he? And I would have got a score.
He's got to score that for me. He's got to score. He's missing up. He's getting pellets for that. You can't. For me, you can't miss from there. But he did, didn't he?
Well, I don't know why he took it on his weaker foot.
I
don't know why he took that on his weaker foot.
But then that's what I'm saying. Like, I think we got very fortunate, but I'll take the 3 points whichever way they come. But against Chelsea, I think, you know what? Even though we only just won the game, you take positives from it because defensively, I thought we played quite well. If we play like that against Chelsea, we'll stop them. We could easily come away with a point. That's the way I'm looking at it. Like, if we can hit them on the counter attack, then, you know, if we play the first half against Southampton, we could actually win the game. Do you know what I mean? You see it both ways. You're looking at both halves. It's a difficult one really to call, but with Chelsea being favourites, I mean, that is it. Thomas Tuchel. He's a good manager. He'll have them organised.
Class that.
I see his press conference today. He says he's going for it. That makes me scared. But hey,
well, if he's going to go for it, we got to go for it as well. We got to stand toe to toe. We have to give it a go because if we sit back, we're going to get beat.
Just don't go 5 at the back. Just if we've got Federico Fernandez back and then don't play 5 at the back. Divent.
But with Steve Bruce, he's going to play a 5-4-1.
He better not. Do you know what though, John? Honestly, I'd rather get beat 6-0 right having to go playing 4 at the back than play 5. It's so boring and negative.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You're just conceding defeat before the ball's even being kicked when you play 5 at the back. That's how I see it.
Totally agree, guys. You know what I mean? But just give it
Chelsea
a go.
playing a free.
Look, Chelsea had a go. Honestly, we got that. Chelsea's faces had a right go. If they can have a go, why can we not have a go?
Exactly.
Well,
do you know what
that's what I'm saying. Like, apart from like we're missing Callum Wilson, like Kraft can do a job, I think, right? But then if we've got our centre backs coming, back, Dwight Gale for me, a bit like Callum Wilson's got pace. He's just the Championship version. If Callum Wilson, but if we can give him some service, if Miggy gets the ball, we can actually do something. But we need to see ASM as much as possible. And Fraser, I've got Fraser on my side as well. I'm literally going for it.
Fraser as well.
I'm literally going Dwight Gale, Fraser, Almiron, ASM. I've gone Hayden, Shelby, and then I've got Emil Kraft, Lewis. I've gone my 2 centre backs, Paul Dummett and Kieran Clark, and in goal, Carl Dollar. Now, for me, I would love to see Dubravka, but I've got to be realistic. I can't see Dubravka coming in for this game. Bruce is too stubborn. He's too stubborn. I can't see it. I've been calling out for Dubravka for months, and have a guess what? We've seen him once against Arsenal.
Yeah,
that's it.
Too good past him, not his fault.
Who for you? Who's starting there? Are you all going Dubravka?
I went for Dubravka actually.
No, but I would go Dubravka, but I've got to be realistic. I just don't think he's going to do it.
That's the thing.
By the way,
I still would be Darlow and Paul, and I think if Fernandes is going to be fit, like Holly says, he's going to come in. And then, it's going to be him and Kevin Clark at the back, Lewis and Kraft.
Do you know what? They are our 2 best centre backs. Take away the captain. Federico Fernandez and Kieran Clark are our 2 best centre backs.
I agree with you. I agree. I mean, they're both ball players, come out, play out from the back, and that's what we need.
How long Jamal Lascelles got left in the club?
I think he's got 2 years. 2 years after this. No, hang on.
For me, we should have sold him a couple of years ago when we had the chance. Ever since England refused him, he's never been the same. For me, I would get money off him. Bring someone else in.
I would.
Yeah, I mean, we went to Swansea, got Federico Fernandez for like, what, 5-6 million quid? Absolute bargain. Look, he's our best centre back.
I'm just going to drop out now if that's okay.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Listen,
no
I'll get you back on the weekend or next week, Holly, sometime, and
yeah, just give us a message.
Oh, will. Liz, you get yourself away, and thanks so much for coming on.
No problem. Speak to you soon. Bye.
Take it easy.
Soon. Yeah, take it easy. That's Holly, probably a little bit tired as well, sort of thing, but she's worked at the comedy channel anytime. She's amazing.
She's done 3 hours here. She's done 3 hours here, channel a day. All because we've come on.
3 hours,
It's good though. At least you got some people on. That's the main thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, but honestly, John, when I done my preview of the day, honestly, I was quite positive going into it. Like, I wasn't negative at all. I was going into this game with a positive mindset that we can actually get something against this lot. If we play how we're capable of playing, if we just pass the ball and we're patient and we don't give the ball away, if we defend really well and we take our chances at it, do you know what? We could do something. We really could do something. And the lads need to believe in their own abilities. That's what they need to do. Believe that they can do something, because they can't. Like, we've beaten some big sides, over the years. We've beaten Chelsea before against the odds. We could do it again. I'm not saying, you know what I mean? We can get something.
I think, if you just believe in ourselves, like you said, believe in ourselves, played like we've done against Everton, and this against Palace, do it again, and then we'll be fine.
They're the clear example. Look at Everton's side. I mean, they go and beat Tottenham 5-4, whatever it was the other day, right? Mm-hmm. And you know what? It doesn't matter whether they played the best side, the weak side. It doesn't matter. You have to play them anyway, right? They're a good side. If we can go toe-to-toe with Everton, we can do exactly the same thing with Chelsea. Like, I don't see Chelsea as any much better than Everton, if you know what I mean. Like, the table doesn't lie.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
The thing is, if we just don't want, one thing we don't want to do in the game, right, is go in with a negative attitude and like concede after the first 5 minutes, because it could be a long night.
Definitely. That's what we don't want. At the end of the day, I mean, it's just. I mean, he's got to get his tactics right. Just get his tactics right. That's all he's got to do. Just start well. Just keep it tight at the back. That's all you got to do. Simple as that. If we don't,
by the way, this sounds, and it's not negative, and I hope he doesn't do it, and he'd be brave if he does. I've got a gut feeling he might stick with a 4-3-3 diamond. Now, I would play that any other game, but not at Chelsea, not against these better sides, because for me, we're too open. You know what I mean? Like, we've got good players, but we didn't want to leave ourselves too exposed at the back, and that's my only fear. If Chelsea catch on the counter-attack, if we go forward, we lose the ball, Mason Mount gets the ball, drives, shoots, scores, we're in trouble. Werner scores. He hasn't scored in months. Do you know what I mean? That's why for me, John, and you mentioned it yourself, I go 4-2-3-1, I play it safe. Literally down the middle safe.
That's what you go for. If you go 4-3-3 in this game, you're going to get absolutely slaughtered.
But the thing is, we haven't got Callum Wilson. We've already got Dwight Gale, and I'm not being disrespectful towards Dwight Gale, but he's not Callum Wilson. He's not that intelligent.
Definitely not. And he doesn't move a lot like Callum does. Callum moves over the pitch, doesn't he, up front?
By the way, I'd take another Dwight Gale rinse and repeat. If Dwight Gale, could start the game and get a corner or get a free kick into the box and he heads it like he did against West Brom, I'll take that any day of the week. One of them goals. I'll take that. See, that's Stamford 1-0, Dwight Gale finish. I'll take that. My only fear though, and I mentioned the relegation zone. Fulham, I think they've got Everton, but I think they've got a run of where I think they've got West Brom or is it Burnley, and they've got like two of the bottom three, something like that. Fulham have got a run of fixtures where if they win both of them and we lose, I think they'll only be like what they're now 10. There could be 4 points behind us. Because we've got Chelsea, Man United, and I think they've got Everton. By the way, I remember watching the game. Was it at Fulham when where Fulham actually should have beat Everton? If you remember, it was on the BBC. If they play like that, then that game's not a walk in the park for Everton. For me, Fulham, they might be feeling tired as well after the FA Cup. Do you know what I mean? Fulham might go for it. They've got plenty of bodies. You know what I mean?
They've got a good team. They've got a good goalkeeper though.
Ariola.
I think can he keep at him?
Have you seen Fulham's next 3 fixtures? I'm a little bit concerned. I know they've got West Brom in there as well. I am a little bit concerned, but then again, I am and I'm not, because I look at Fulham. I think they draw too many games.
Yeah, that's the thing.
They need to turn their shots into wins, and then they may have a chance of staying up. But they've been winning games as well, and they've been seeing silly goals, and that's what happened in winning games. Like the West Brom game, I think it's either 2 goals in 2 minutes or something.
Sam Allardyce, he's another one. Like, I'm staying to try and keep West Brom up. Once they're confident to nigh on go down, or just before they're about to be relegated, he'll walk away because he won't want relegation on his CV. That's what Sam Allardyce will do. He'll walk away. That's what he's just there for the money.
I know. Once relegation is confirmed, he'll be gone. That's it.
Sheffield United, they're the one informed club at the bottom 3. I mean, I don't think they're going to stay up, but they're showing some fight. They're winning games.
This is it, man. And that's what you need. You need to have fight. When you're at the bottom of the table, you need to have some fight, show some fight. I think Sheffield United is playing good football, but again, they're just not scoring the goals. And
see my next 3 games.
Who's Sheffield?
For Newcastle, we've got Chelsea, then Man United, then Wolves at home. And by the way, Wolves for me should be a winnable game, but even that's probably not a winnable game because Wolves are a hitty-missy sort of side. I know they're having a bad season, but you just don't know what Wolves are going to turn up. That's the thing. You don't. Like, Wolves on one given day can absolutely outdo you. Then other games they can just get beat. Do you know what I mean? Like, even that's not a walk in the park. I know it's at home, but there's no fans. Wolves. And then we've got then it'll be Dinosaur Central. After that, it'll be West Brom versus Newcastle. The 2 dinosaurs up against each other.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? That's on. They are next 4 fixtures. Like, they're pretty big games for like all 4 of those clubs.
We need to win. We need to take 6 points then out of those 4 games. We need to take 6.
Have a guess who else we've got coming up as well. We've got a very poor record down there as well. Have a guess.
Brighton.
Well, right. Brighton. We've got they're for me. They're above us. They're fighting as well. They're Burnley. They're all fighting. We've got them again. Turfmoor. We've got some
5 unbeaten.
We've got these sides, like who are around but away from home. That's our only, like, United, it's not at home, but we've still got to play them. They're all fighting to stay in the Premier League. I mean, we've still got the 10-point gap, but we're just hoping that one of them just didn't start going on a bit of a mad run. Otherwise, we'll all get excited after the Everton game for now, really, when you think about it, after the Southampton game. But I don't know, like, do you know what it is? I just can't see where the bottom 3 are going to get anywhere near 25 points, and that's not being disrespectful. Like, we're on 25 at the minute. I can't for the life of it think where they're going to get that. And by the way, I think Fulham and Burnley have got a game in hand.
Yeah, I believe they do as well.
I think
On
so.
Newcastle, and our goal difference at the minute, well, I think it's still pretty bad. It's still lifting, isn't it? It's like minus odd.
Mm-hmm.
And Bruce is like, "Oh, we're trying. We're not conceding that many goals." Well, actually, we have. We're still conceding goals. We are.
Crazy, man. But yeah, see what happens. You know what I mean? But well, I think you're gonna be fine, Sharky. You're gonna be definitely gonna be fine this season. I think if you get those 2 wins, I think you'll be safe.
Well, that's it. I mean, if we want Ibra next season, we're gonna have to be safe. You know what I mean?
We have to. Got no choice. But listen, I mean, you just got to do it. You just got to get on with your games in hand. You got to get on, win the games, do the best you can, and then win games. But
oh, by the way, John, me and you were talking about this last game of the season. Fulham versus Newcastle could be a relegation side. Imagine if it went down the last game. Oh man, that would pain me with no fans. Like Fulham versus Newcastle. Newcastle are like 17th and Fulham are 18th, and if whichever one wins. Well, actually, we're both on the same goal difference. We're both on the same points and whatnot. Goals scored, goals conceded. But Newcastle are like, let's say we're 17th and Fulham are 18th. Could you imagine if it went down to the final game at Craven Cottage? We got relegated at Craven Cottage, or they actually we relegated them. Oh man, you couldn't make it up. Imagine that actually happened.
I don't think we'll do it, but we got a good record against Fulham anyway. You know, some of the games, like, you know.
Do you know who we got before Fulham, though? Who I think we could beat at home, and we didn't beat them away? Sheffield United. We still got to play Sheffield and Fulham, like both last games of the season. We've got to be getting 4 points from them at least. Yeah,
we have. We got to play Arsenal home, Liverpool away. We got to play Man City at home, Sheffield United at home.
Oh, we were dismal at Arsenal. We were dismal, horrible on there.
We're not beat Arsenal.
Thing is, we've still got to make 7 points up on Leeds at the minute, and they're a newly promoted club. We still got 7 points to make up. If you look where we are in the league, we're 25. Leeds on 32. They're killing it this season, Leeds.
I know. I mean, Leeds are finished above us anyway because they're playing the better football, and at the moment in time, they're so exciting to go for. Exciting to watch in a minute. And yeah, I've just so exciting in a minute. And we not catch Leeds. I think Leeds will get a few more wins yet.
I think Leeds will finish top 10 for me.
It wouldn't surprise us because I think.
Have you seen the players they've got?
Yeah, Bamford, and they got Rafinha. Rafinha's class, isn't
he? He's maybe got to Liverpool. Apparently, they're putting a bid at the end of the season.
Rafinha.
Yeah, that's what's going around at the minute. But the thing is, with him, he is quite pacey. Problem is with Leeds though that they're a bit like Mike Ashley. Like he's not gonna say you're going on the cheap. Like they'll want a ridiculous fee for him. If they have to push the boat out to like 70 million quid or 80 million quid, they'll do it. Leeds.
Well, I mean, we're 7 points behind them. I'm definitely going to catch them, man. But you said they're going to finish in the top 10. I'll tell you what, they won't be far away from finishing the top 10. You know.
Honestly, I think they're, you know, under what's his name, Bielsa. It just reminds me of Keegan in the 90s. They just play tick-a-tack football, pass, move, we'll score one more than you, and that's all we expect as a fan base. Like, we don't demand trophies, well, we would want it, but we just want to see a team that's going to compete and just give a bit of fight, you know what I mean? Not just sit back all game and just, oh, well, you know, we tried. None of that attitude. I want to see them try for the full 90 minutes, if possible. You know what I mean? That's why we get laughed at by other fans, because we just sit back all game. Oh, you're a rubbish use. Oh, how are you where you are? Down to the manager.
We're the worst team. We're the worst team to watch in the minutes this season.
Have you seen what the opposition fans are saying? Oh, you play the most negative football in the league. Well, ESM is nothing. Well, you got a point. We're negative. Like, I mean, totally who goes 5 at the back away to Sheffield United? Oh yeah, Newcastle.
Just us. Joke. We're a disgrace. I mean,
we'll literally get laughed on Sky Sports because we're playing 5 at the back at Sheffield United.
Yeah, just to let know, I've said your friend there.
Oh, did you not know about the channel, Peter? I thought you would have knew about the channel.
But I've sent him a subscriber.
All right, I've been on it. He's good guy. Good content as well. I've been on Newcastle content.
I know.
But one with John will be getting to that 1K eventually.
Yeah, you'll get there. Keep it going, man.
And you, Peter, as well. And you.
Yes.
You as well.
You'll be the 1K gang soon.
Totally
agree. On the way as well, definitely.
Even though I got I've got to say, Iceman, great neat me. Good night, lads, and good night to you. So I'll be off to bed soon as well. And Mrs. Nine Talk says evening all, and evening to you. And I hope you're absolutely canny, sort of thing. And been on there for just over 3 hours, sort of thing. And just so I got to go to work at 5 in the morning.
I better let you go then because you got work. Yeah, we better drop off.
5 in the morning, John.
Eh?
You got work 5 in the morning.
Aye, well, get up at 5. I've got to be in at 5:30. So, and you know, I didn't even know what time. I was 25 past 10, you know.
Yeah, but yeah, we're gonna let you go because I realise the time. But anyway, John, appreciate you having us on, mate.
Thanks very much indeed, and thanks for coming on. And I'll be back on again over the weekend, and I've got a couple of contents lined up. So keep your eyes peeled for that.
Just give us a shout if you need us back on again for another 2-hour live stream.
Definitely, man. You're on.
Anyway, man. Lads, I'll catch you later.
You too. Have a good one.
See you later. Ta-ra.
Night. Right, that's me done. Wow. I better get myself away as well. I've done it for nearly 3.5 hours, and I've got to get myself up at 5 o'clock in the morning, get away at 5:30. So absolutely, marathon, man. But thanks so much for watching this, guys. And please smash your likes up and subscribe if you're new, if you already haven't. So I'd like to say thanks to Holly. Thanks to Peter Proudlark and Sharky and Dom as well. And like I said, that's a long one, man. And I really enjoyed it. I hope you viewers enjoyed it as well. And until then, guys, have a good evening. Take care. Away, lads.